Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Earthbound. I actually had the thought and concept of going ahead and effectively undoing the cheat off camera. I didn't. Not because I chose not to. In fact, I would have been totally down for that. I just didn't have time. Why would the mic sound... Is the mic sounding strange because of this? Or is it because of this? Because both of those could be a factor. I've actually been thinking about moving the mic to the right side of my desk anyways, so that's more of a long-term thing. We'll see how that works out. Probably Saturday-ish. Just in time for Lore Week. Anyways. So yeah. Thought about doing it. Didn't have time. Just straight. In fact, I spent my morning researching. So I have more stuff to talk about since, Lorerun. So instead, we still cheated. But what we didn't do is beat the game. Oh, also, we need to remute the game because... what I tend to do in order to help myself think, especially during those Star Trek rewrite streams like we did yesterday, you should go watch that. It'll be uploaded at some point. Is I should change the stream title. God, I spent my entire morning researching and I forgot to do some basic things. Go figure. Thank you for telling me, Twister. There, updated. We're going to hopefully have something to talk about in the finale here. And we'll see what we think of the new camera setup live, now that we're over there. So we just beat Fire Springs. This is the final Your Sanctuary. This whole time we've been running throughout the entire game trying to connect ourselves to the psychic power that is innate and natural to the world. This is the furthest most reach and the hardest one to reach. This is probably by implication the oldest of the various Your Sanctuaries as well, which... has its own implications, especially when you get the whole old equals better kind of a thing, which tends to be a common thing in fiction. Either way, the weirdest song piece right here. Doo, and that's it. But that's because this has all been part of one overall song. Probably, to quote it. As we've talked about before, while Tolkien had a specific purpose in mind for that, most people emulate it without the purpose. Magnet Hill is most likely the most recent, yes. Especially since, if you think about it, Giant Step is probably the second oldest, just by basic logical deduction, since the giant in question is almost assuredly one of the dinosaurs. I hate this implementation of this song. I'm sorry, it's a good tune, but there's this in the background that just ruins it. This is a much better version of the song. Pax, and I actually talked to Pax, so for those of you who don't know, this is Pax's favorite game of all time. You know how FF6 is my favorite? This is his favorite. He and I talked about the review and what kind of pluses and negatives he'd give. He came up with most of the same negatives for me, but neither of us could really come up with a story negative. Notice the dog notices us, despite the fact that we're not here. It is implied that we are effectively using the psychic power of the world to reach out into the past and actually be present at the time of us being an infant. And us connecting with ourself creates a feedback loop of psychic power. Ness. I think Ness is the right name for him. By the way, in Japanese you can clearly tell which one is the mother and which one's the father. Do you think he likes his name? Try putting that red cap on him. It's too big, but it looks good on him. I hope King won't be jealous of the baby. Which means king is in his teens, by the way. Let's celebrate with some sushi. This baby will grow up to be a hard worker, just like you. I don't think he needs to be rich or famous, but I want him to be a thoughtful, strong boy. That's odd. Baby bottle he pointed at seemed to move a little bit. Now, first thing of note. There's a concept called Magicant in this setting. I've referenced it a few times. You've been out there for all... Oh my god, Dad, really? Really, Dad? Thank you very, very much, Silver Mask. Always appreciate those subs. Thank you. If you know where you want to put that one, let me know. Oh my god, he has the worst timing. Magicant is, as I said earlier, as I just alluded to, it's more of a concept than it is a specific place. It's if you replaced the word Magicant with the phrase inner self or center of the mind. In fact, this, as near as I can tell, this is actually a semi-common thing in Japanese lore in general. In fact, it's come its way into a few other bits of Japanese fiction, the most obvious one being Kingdom Hearts. Anybody... Star Trek Shattered Universe, you got it. Thank you, Silver Mask. Anybody who has played Kingdom Hearts knows there's the stations, the center of the heart places that you go to, like when you're making your character. But those places are actual locations in the center of people's souls. It's the exact same type of concept. It's just expressed in a different manner. Yeah, Magicant shouldn't be capitalized is actually a pretty good way to put that. So, we went to a Magicant back in the first game, but it was someone else's. It was Maria's. And Itoy was like, you know what, we should go to our own Magicant this time. So this is Ness's Magicant. This is what he looks like inside. I already mentioned this, but in the original, he was nude. Not in a gross way, but in a I'm pure way. We actually already talked about that. Yes, you stood in the 8 power spots on the earth. From these, you created Magicant through all your mind. And he's just kind of, sort of explaining what that is. The Sea of Eden sits... So every time you talk to someone, the palette changes, which is kind of a neat little thing. There's sound effects when you walk, and the music's kind of wonky. Everdread is here. Maybe you don't want to hear this, but you remind me of myself when I was young. I can't do anything more for you. Good luck. And then he vanishes. Yes, nude but not showing anything. That's exactly right. Again, the purity thing. Well, that was a quiet small town, wasn't it? Good morning, Black Bow. Yeah, I wish I'd had that idea too, Justin. Because I always planned to boost several of the characters, but Jesse's the one who came up with that idea, and I just ran with it, because hell yeah. I lived in your house before you were born. You used to be small and weak. The Sea of Eden's at the end of Magicant. Other people can't get close to it. It's a strange place. And you can actually store stuff here, which is very important because you walk into here with just Ness's inventory. Now, naturally, I came into this prepared because I knew it was coming. But I've walked into here with Ness having an inventory full of junk, no healing items whatsoever, just being like, ugh. But you actually have access to a free heal, your bank, and there's an ATM as well as a shop as well. So they do give you some tools, but we'll tell you a story when we get there. That's what I was thinking too, Bio. There's a whole lot of purity themes in this game. Ness and the Saturns are the two most obvious examples. Probably to put in direct contrast to the aliens, who are designed to be alien, you know, monstrous. So, we'll go and buy the Earth Pendant. These are magic puddings. This is, I believe, the only source of magic puddings in the game. Nope. Nope, Arthur, it's actually only at 8. So I can't put it at a 10 yet, it's only at 8. Besides, it amuses me. So yeah, magic puddings. Recovers 40 mana. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you, I think that's the third highest money, or excuse me, mana gaining item in the game. That can be pretty useful. Sunflowers. That's actually supposed to be a song. For some reason, they didn't translate the musical notes into English. I'm just a faint memory. You don't usually remember me. You've heard my song in the back of your mind. Frickin' bird! Of course, we can save here. So, there are a couple players who never realized that was an ATM. Just wanted to comment on that really quick. But yeah, all those convenience features there. Woo! Ness, did you learn how to tell what time I'm indicating? Nope. It's a zombie! You kicked my butt badly. I won't forget. First time ever I got through here, I saw a belch up there. I was like, oh god! And I stopped, and I made sure I healed, and I equipped my inventory. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to fight the boss! And all he does is talk to you. I don't know, Bio. I'm sure Toby has answered that question at some point, because Toby's really open about talking with the with customers, with the fan base. No, it does not, Mr. Red. It's me when you were younger. Let's play ball. Or do you prefer reading comics or playing games? What, you're busy? Yeah. Please rest. The dream you'll have here is a dream within a dream. Your heart knows things you aren't aware of. Okay, we'll sleep within our sleep. By the way, this whole time our physical body is just laying in what is effectively a coma back in the Fire Springs. So time is passing while we're in here. I know the name of the girl you used to like. Her name was Bragwin! Sorry. So yeah, Side Caramel restores 20 MP to give you an idea. So these guys all say something. This country will disappear when you wake up. Well, yeah. Peace. We haven't played together lately. So she says fresh. That always confused me a little bit. What she's actually supposed to say is pervert, because we're naked. Ness, Pokey took my snack. Hi, Picky. Yeah, long time no see, Ness. All these memories. And that's Nico. Now you're probably thinking, who the hell's Nico? Well, Nico is the daughter of Mr. Lindblom. For those of you who don't remember that name, Lindblom was the English localizer of this game. She was born while he was working on this game, and in fact, he was working so hard on this game that he basically got a chance to take one day off for her birth, and then go right back to work. It was requested that he go ahead and put Nico in the game in honor of that, and they said sure. Which is one of the rare times when Nintendo of America was actually pretty cool back in the day. She has actually since played this game and has commented on how weird it is that she's in the game. She likes Earthbound, by the way. You're so lucky. I envy you. I have no luck. But Ness, well, okay. Let's be friends forever, alright? Now, that's important. It's actually more important for Mother 3 than it is for Earthbound, but that is what Ness thinks of Pokey. That's how Pokey is from Ness's lens, his perspective, right? We will later, in Mother 3, we will see what Ness was from Pokey's perspective. This is Buzz's tombstone. This is one of the only religious symbols that actually managed to endure the localization, by the way. So there's a gameplay concept here. Hang on, we'll talk to him first. I still feel pain where you wounded me. That's a good color scheme right there. This is Flying Man. He represents our courage. We'll go ahead and bring one. He's a guest character. This is actually a good gameplay design decision, because now we have someone who will... he effectively forms a teddy bear. Like, he serves the same purpose of a teddy bear for this section of the game. There's only, what, 5 of them, I think? Yep, I'm right. There's only 5 of them. And you can run out of them. Like, each time one dies, another gravestone shows up here, and you can get another one. When you run out, you're out. So this is the actual dungeon of Magicant. I'm going to take it as a story. So, I was playing this game for the first time, and I know I've told this story before, so please forgive me. And I got to Magicant, and just to give you a bit of a perspective, right now Ness is level 65. Now I forget, as of this moment, the exact level Ness was at. It was pretty low, like 30 to 40 range. You can't leave Magicant until you're done. So what happened was I was almost soft-locked here. Because I couldn't... I had to rely on extreme RNG. Like, basically, the enemy had to use the right attack on the right person, and I had to have the right damage rolls on my attacks, and I had to hit them, and they had to miss, and so forth and so on. Basically, I was relying on a very narrow band of RNG in order to successfully do this. Yeah, there's plenty of RPGs that throw this kind of thing at you. Admittedly, Earthbound does a decent amount to try and prevent this from happening. But, as I've mentioned many times, back in the day, I used to, as normal policy, I would be very low level in RPGs because that was just my preference. So yeah, I got here and I basically got stuck. Now, I didn't get permanently stuck. I did eventually ride the luck train and kill one mob, which got me a level up. I'd run back to town, heal, run back out, kill one mob after like 5 more attempts. And it was just this... I refused to give up, basically. I was just, no, I'm going to do this. And stubbornly pushed my way through this whole situation. The reason that this was available, though, the reason that this was a problem is because of the fact that while you have multiple save slots in this game, you're locked into a save slot once you're in it. So the moment you save in Magicant, you're here. Unless you restart the game. Because any other save slot can't be saved to from another save slot, if I'm making any sense. We should have a little easier time. I'm not super underleveled here. This way first, yep. But yeah, this was just a thing. My first thought when going through here... So, okay, I guess I actually... Oh, absolutely, Bio. I should mention there's a second thing that happened my first time through here. And that's that I got to the boss. See, my first thought was, okay, well, you know, I'm massively underleveled. I might as well just push through the boss and be done with it, right? By the way, this is why I've had the Franklin badge on this whole time. Was for this dungeon. It is apparently still useful in Gygus, but this is effectively the last time the Franklin badge is useful. And after all, you have a 50% chance of being hit at this point, because it's just you and the Flying Man, so... You notice they give a ridiculous amount of experience, too. That's because we're alone and there's no distribution. Anyways, so the first time what I did was I used the despawning trick, which by this point I was pretty good at, and just kind of slipped my way through as carefully and precisely as I could, got to the boss, and got absolutely destroyed. The boss was such a stat wall, I could not surpass it. So, a bag of Dragonite. Don't need it. That's a tough question, Mr. Red. I was debating, so yeah, you guys may or may... Oh, that's bad. Oh my god, that's really bad. Okay, we got rid of the bomb first, that's good. By the way, I noticed Flying Man can do decent damage. He hits for about 50. to, I think 300 is his range. Anyways, is this a negative to gameplay? I've been debating that, and the problem is, I don't think I could justify this specific situation as being a negative to gameplay, because the game puts quite a few things in the player's book in order to mitigate the fact that you're suddenly down to one party member. Between the Flying Man, the increased experience, the easy and free access to heals and inventory and bank, the fact that there's pretty good equipment which you can find in this dungeon, which also boosts you substantially. You know, just I don't think, in fairness, I can give a negative for the Magican section. I was debating it, but the problem is they do their due diligence within reason. The only thing they don't do is they don't lower the difficulty, which is normally a thing you'll do when you've pared it down to one person, like they did with the Jeff section earlier. I have never beaten the boss with a Flying Man surviving. I have extremely rarely gotten to the boss. That's true, they don't tell you it's coming. That is a fair point. So you don't know, you have no pre-warning. So that's probably the only thing they do wrong here, is they don't tell you, hey, just up ahead, you're going to be down to just Ness. Actually get pretty good luck with these lightning attacks. But yes, as Takoida points out, you are not meant to dodge encounters here. That's why I had to use the despawn trick when I was sneaking through here. An average playthrough, I will usually leave this place at about level 80. Which is pretty much what we need to beat the game. There's kind of another caveat on that we'll get to in a second. Okay, so I do want the Magican bat, so what we'll do is we'll just drop the existing bat. By the way, our offense cannot go above 255. We're up to 200 right now. Oh, absolutely, Bio. I don't know what. So these enemies are the only easy enemies of this section. The way they work is they do absolutely nothing for, I think, 3 turns, and then they are able to concentrate, and then they start absolutely destroying you. So you have 3 free turns, and then they kill you. That's kind of how that's designed. Hello, David Sobbs. It's only 26 years old. Don't actually remember what the magic tart does. Recovers 20 mana. And yes, it was Dakota. No! Oh, God, okay. Say, Flying Man's got to be really low on health here. I kind of want him to get... And he's dead. No! Wow! I kind of want to get him, the Flying Man, as... Jesus Christ! Yep, no, Flying Man's dead. From one encounter! Just 3 bombs in the face. I was about to say I want Flying Man to last as long as possible, and then I immediately encounter someone who just flings 3 bombs at him. Jesus. Well, our courage is dead. Hey, Spartan. Yeah, by the way, the Carefree Bombs are easily the deadliest enemy in this section of the game. They really are. They just fling bomb after bomb after... That's effectively their only attack. And they either fling a regular bomb or a super bomb, which either does about 50 or about 250 damage. Whoops. No, that's right. See, we have 550 health at this point in time. I'm going to go ahead and use that magic chart. Yes, Ness has reverted to the state of cowardice. He is now Pokey! That's bad. Alright, whatever. There are several playthroughs where I've gotten to the exact spot I'm at and just gotten creamed by carefree bombs. We're homesick. That's 3 actions I've missed this combat because of homesickness. God damn this freaking game. That is really starting to piss me off. We took about 400 damage that one fight because of homesickness. God damn it. By the way, if you remember, we talked to our mother earlier, but that didn't actually count, apparently. I might just accept the death. This is... Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna accept the death. I'm just gonna accept the death. No, hang on. Let's push it. Let's push it. I'm not mashing for no reason. The mashing makes the text go by slightly faster, which is important when your health is scrolling down. Hi, buddy. Oh my god. Freaking home goddamn sickness. I'm gonna smack you, Ness. Just... ugh. Well, I was gonna save these. Usually I like to take magic puddings out of here. But let's go ahead and use a couple. One should do, actually. So here's the Sea of Eden, aka probably... So, Bio mentioned this earlier. My theory has always been the reason this is referred to as such is because it's the Sea of Purity. Oh yes, it's time to talk about the Gutsy Bat. So these guys dropped the Gutsy Bat! Okay, for those of you not aware of the joke, these guys do not drop the Gutsy Bat. However, in the strategy guide, it says that these guys have a chance, very low chance of course, 1 in 128, of dropping the Gutsy Bat. They do not. That is the Bionic Kraken, which is an enemy in the final dungeon, which is 2 dungeons from now. However, not only does the strategy guide lie about this... There we go. There we go. We just wanted to get some... There we go. We should be good. Not only does the strategy guide lied about this, Nintendo Power lied about this exact same thing and posted in there. So 2 official Nintendo publications said that these guys dropped the Gutsy Bat. That's great. Okay, so we need to scooch a little bit like this. There we go. Nope, hang on. So for years, people are like, where the hell is it? Now, of course, people are people. So, naturally, people helped the spread of misinformation on this one pretty badly. We're gonna go do this, I think. There we go. There we go. Yes, Takoida. People had to actually reverse engineer the code in order to figure out the truth of some of these things. So yeah, to be clear, these guys do not drop the Gutsy Bat. They're just another random enemy at the Sea of Eden. Yeah, well, it turns out... Funny story, Ventures. It turns out he was lying. That would be Tenon, specifically. I remember him. So, okay. Oh my god, it's the Mani Mani statue. No, it's not. Let's just get that out of the way. This is not the Mani Mani statue. It could be interpreted as such, but I don't see any evidence of that whatsoever. This is Ness's nightmare, or, in the original Japanese, the demon at the center of Ness. This is just the darker aspects of her own psyche. That's what that is. And of course it would manifest as the Mani Mani statue, because, you know, nightmare, right? Okay, there's a logic to that. I am the evil part of your brain. You can't beat me because you are the one who forced me into being. Boss time! This boss can be pretty rough, because this boss knows all of our spells, including PSI Flash. PSI Flash can do several random effects, including kill you. Yes, this is our literal inner demon. He will start off by doing PSI Ultimate Alpha, and then I will be homesick while I'm fighting my inner demon. That's great. Then he will switch up to that one, which hits for 600. Honestly, let's just do this. At this point, there's actually a reasonable chance we will not be capable of beating this fight. Just because of the homesickness. See that? Ness misses home. That should be enough. Yep, there. That gets rid of the shield. Meanwhile, he can heal. He has all our heals, too, by the way. As you might imagine, fighting someone who has all of our spells really sucks, because they have all our spells, and our spells include a massive AoE heal, a status effect thing, a psychic shield, and healing. Like, all the heals. By the way, that pretty much is a guaranteed kill every time he casts that. If it was not for the rolling text, we would die every single time he casts Ultimate Omega. He's full health, by the way. He's gone back up to full health. Look at that, he's doing 700 damage with Omega to us. Now, believe it or not, I do have a strategy in mind here. I don't think it's gonna work, because I'm not sure if it can work. As he is just chain casting a spell that costs like 150 mana. Hang on a second, let me check something. This has super accurate information, but, you know, whatever. Nope, he does. Okay, alright, well, we'll watch. I think we actually have succeeded at it. Supposedly, he does have a limited mana pool. I say supposedly because he is chain casting a very expensive spell. Every time he does Omega, that's like 140 mana gone. So he should only have like 7 casts of that. He's still casting it, so maybe he just has infinite mana? I don't know. Let's go and blow a magic pudding while we're here. But crying is not that status effect, unfortunately, Justin. That is a separate status effect, because screw us. Honestly, just top off. Oh, okay, he's out of mana. He's out of mana. We did... So this was the strategy. I wasn't sure if... I wasn't 100% sure if enemies could run out of mana in this game. They can. We're good. That was the whole strategy, was just sit there while he wailed on me with 700 damage attacks. And then, now we've won. Because he can't do anything. Like, he can do 1 attack now. Okay. You see why this is a stat wall when I was super underleveled, by the way? So we get a little bit of experience from that fight. That's not the big gain, though. This is actually a really cool feature, and in fact, I kind of wish more RPGs would do exactly this. Gygus' goal is to destroy you. Listen carefully. Everything in the universe could be destroyed at the hands of Gygus. But he and his followers are also in trouble. The Apple of Enlightenment has foretold that Gygas's attempt will fail, which I already read for you guys. It is because of the existence of a boy named Ness and the others. That's me. Listen, free your mind and know what you must do. Your destiny has already been decided. You, I, where should we go? You know, deep within the reaches of your mind, Saturn Valley. Yes, go to the valley where the Mr. Saturn lived. You'll get something new there. Soon, this Magicant will be no more. We must be quick. Ness really heard his own voice. Go to Saturn Valley. Go to Saturn Valley now. Then the game does something that's actually kind of cool. Giant Step gives you speed, vitality. Lilliput gives you guts and luck. Milky Well gives you speed and IQ. Magnet Hill gives you vitality and luck. Rainy Circle gives you guts and IQ. Pink Cloud gives you speed and guts. By the way, you notice what's happening to our HP and our MP? So the way this works is whenever you hit stop, which is going to be on Fire Springs, or whatever the last one you do is. I think it might always be Fire Springs. I'm not sure about that. That's what your stats are at. So you can decide where your HP and PP are, and you have 1,000 points to effectively distribute. It distributes the wrong word, but to decide between your HP and your mana, depending on what you want to go for. By the way, well, this is a very cool feature. It is possible, because the best leveling spot in the game is actually before this point, to be so high level that these stat ups actually overflow you to, you know, go from 255 to 3. So that's cool. So we're going to go for right about here. Kind of in the middle of the road. So we have a huge mana pool, and we still have about the same health we had previously. We also gained 200,000 experience. And finally, he realized Teleport Beta. Which I think is basically just a joke at that point. Ness absorbed the power of the land into his heart, and Magicant was no more. I don't remember where Pokemon came out relative to Earthbound. About frickin' time, Mr. Red. Which is funny, because we were homesick in that battle. Because, you know. Soundstone is destroyed, so that's no longer taking up inventory space. What happened, Ness? You've been unconscious for a long time. You kept saying something. Saturn Valley? Like I said, we were... That time was passing the whole time we were in there. Which always amused me, if you ever get stuck in Magicant, how much time is passing, and they're just sitting there like... Is he getting up? So, this is one of the very rare plot teleports. You can't bump into the walls, which is good, because there's not enough space there to teleport otherwise. Let's freaking save, shall we? Now that we're through that. I'd like to say the hard part of the game is over, but I'd be lying. Appropriately enough, the hardest part of the game, in my opinion, is the final dungeon. We'll talk about that when we get there. So let's get rid of that homesickness. Ness got over being homesick. I'm gonna smack you, Ness. Actually, really quick. I know, right, Pernet Android? I mean, the final dungeons can be awesome in several RPGs, but they're usually not the hardest section. But yeah, the Cave to the Past, aka the... Oh god, what's it actually called in Japanese? It's got this wonky name in Japanese. Hang on a second. is the name of this place in Japanese? Hang on. Oh my god. Give me a second. There's a lot of stuff to cover here, and my bookmark is out. Here we go. Nethermost Realm of the Past. That's the name of the dungeon. The final dungeon in Japanese. But yeah, I mean, we have plushies of the Mr. Saturns. Let's see here. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna add a gameplay negative. It's actually effectively a repeat negative. It's for... We're just off the map now, aren't we? Look at that. It's for homesickness and RNG. We actually already have a negative for homesickness and RNG. Now we have another negative for homesickness and RNG. Because it's just been such a non-stop problem. And admittedly, this is not the first time I've had problems with both. It's just, I have never had this many problems before. I mean, streamer's curse, good lord. Zoom. Breathe is so good. Oh yeah, Dakota. So someone here says, I forget which one, he says, Gunma Prefecture. And I'm like, what? And he just says that. He just says Gunma Prefecture. Apparently that is a actual place in Japan. And they were like, okay, well, we need to translate that, so we're going to call it Dakota. And so he just says Dakota in English. I don't get it, but apparently it's quite a meme. Anyways, so this line of dialogue I wanted to comment on. Make new thing. Must make daddy. Boing! I always assumed that meant that they were referring to the spatial disporter, which looks kind of like a Mr. Saturn, so that's the daddy they're making. Turns out what he's actually saying is necessity is the daddy of invention. It's just they mistranslated that. Dr. Andonitz, Mr. Saturn, and I worked together and completed the phase distorter. Good job, Gygus. The purpose of the device is to enable instantaneous travel through space and time. In this prototype, you can only travel to different points within the same time period. It is, however, able to search out locations of enemies. Right now, it's indicating presence of enemies in the Lost Underworld. Okay. Mr. Saturns are incredible folk, and the Apple Kid, he's a most exceptional young man. Very different from the other kids. Well, anyway, prototype phase distorter has been stolen. Someone resembling a pig wearing clothes took Mr. Saturn captive and stole the device. Why do all your things explode? Actually, wouldn't it be funny if it did, Bio? Sorry, I'm sitting here debating. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Sorry. I was thinking ahead, because I wanted to start a new aggregate for both positive and negative. But I don't want to start a new aggregate if I can't fill it out. We're really close to the end here. So... Ironically, at this point, we've discussed so much about Gygus that we actually aren't going to talk that long. Because we've already discussed most of it. There, okay. So I have started a new aggregate gameplay positive and negative for Magicam. Positive for the things that the area does, in order to, try and mitigate the fact that you're solo. And negative for the things that it does wrong, such as the extreme difficulty in avoiding encounters. You'll notice that the first area had narrow corridors, and the second area had the slowing water effect, so you're not supposed to dodge encounters. And, of course, the fact that there's no warning. It's just, hey, you're stuck with just one party member. Thank you very, very much, Puff of Logic, for the sub. Always appreciate. Thank you. I will put that towards dealer's choice. Have you told me why you're putting that towards dealer's choice? Let's check. Let's see. Puff of Logic. Puff of Logic. Puff. Nope. Do you mind telling me why you're putting that towards dealer's choice? If you don't mind my asking. Like what the reasoning is. Okay. So, we're missing one thing. Element XYZ. But they were like, you know what, that's stupid. Let's call it something else in English. So let's call it Zizanite. Which sounds a lot cooler. Now what's funny is if you warp to Onet before jumping in the machine, Onet's fine. However, Onet is effectively the second to last dungeon of the game. It is also pretty mean at this point. The implication is that Onet has become a center point for the alien invasion, but there's a few logical loopholes in that which don't quite line up. So that sounds like nothing you're interested in. Got it. I'll put you in the not interested in category. Okay, so let's grab... let's grab that one. Yeah, at this point, our money is so high that you'll notice I'm not even hitting the ATM, because I don't need to. I do, however, need to go buy some bottle rockets. Whoops, that's the wrong space. I went to the wrong space. I meant to go there. Well, if you think it is Johnny, I'm listening to your discussion, but for the most part, I don't think that most of the losing party member sections are done badly, so my leaning is towards no. So what are you thinking? I know, Bio. Stupid comment of the day. I was having trouble sleeping last night for a brief period of time. So, like an idiot, I decided to look up houses that, I would like to buy. Then I spent a little time mathematically figuring out what would have been needed to make that happen. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Thank you very, very much, Darth Tyron. I do hope your day goes well. I will put that towards Heaven's Word right now. Which will go right here. You're going to be here Thursday, right, Darth Tyron? Because, well, we'll get there. Yeah, sadly, there's nothing past Super Bomb. Probably because it's an AoE big hit, but, you know, that'd be nice. Yeah, the inventory, and it's funny, the very first negative that Pax mentioned was, the inventory! It's like the first thing out of his mouth. Oh god, screw the inventory. So we did actually give a negative for... Oh, by the way, you can roam around Donut and talk to people. That's weird, Darth Tyron. I do hope you can fix that. You can run around and talk to people. None of them really say anything interesting. Most of the places are actually closed, like that, and don't even respond to you. In fact, I believe there's only one house that still has its door open, and that would be ours. We are having extraordinarily good luck right now. This whole area we've been walking through is enemy encounters. The whole of Onet is a dungeon, effectively, at this point. So, what it is our family has been sitting here quietly in the dark, trying not to draw attention to themselves. Because, yeah. There are, I think, 3 houses that respond to you. Okay, so now let's hope for some good RNG. So I'm gonna do this. Yep, that's actually not bad. So, Ghost of Starman sucks. I feel like I say that a lot lately, but allow me to be very clear. Ghost of Starman sucks. In fact, you know what? Let's just blow up Super Bomb in this fight. You're probably wondering, why does it suck, Lore? Why don't you tell me? Well, hopefully I won't get to show you. Okay, we're okay. Ghost of Starman knows Starstorm, and it's one of the only things he casts. Just chain casts Starstorm on your face, which, if you don't remember, is an AoE typeless damage attack. So this is, like I said, this is the second last dungeon. It's not too bad. I know that sounds weird considering I've been talking it up a little bit, but there's a lot of RNG for this section and a few options you have for getting through it. While we're talking, I found an interview by eToy and 2 other people whose names I don't remember right now, please forgive me. But it was the head programmer and the lead designer, in addition to eToy himself. Hello, Epic. And they were talking about, you know, some aspects of the creation of this game. Nope, didn't manage it. One of the things they brought up was the... Oh my, that's a terrible... Oh my god. Okay, hang on. We're gonna unload. There's no reason to hold back on this group. We're gonna be able to reconnoiter right after this anyways. Let's go ahead and Super Bomb. And Starstorm. Anyways, one of the questions that was asked was, why is this game series called Mother? Anyone want to know the answer? Mortal damage, mortal damage. Yeah, that's Starstorm right there for you. John Lennon? Okay, okay. Mother Earth? Alright. Because Gygus loves his mother? Okay, okay, cool, cool. All good options, all good options. Something to do with his mother? Okay, yep, yep, that's another good option. Or Gygus' mother? Still a good option. These are all good options that are all correct. Every single one of them. Oh yeah, we finally have an AoE heal, by the way. No joke. The actual answer was there was no single reason why he called it Mother. And he's heard a lot of theories over the years, and he likes several of them. So, in his own words, it's called Mother because whatever it is you prefer. No! God damn it! Yeah, she's dead. And he's probably dead as well. There's the AoE heal that I got off. Oh my god. Goes to Starman. Need I say more? This freaking goes to Starman. So yeah, we now have an AoE heal, which only costs 24 mana, which is extraordinarily efficient way to heal. It officially solidifies us as the healer of the group, in case we weren't already enough of one. You'll notice all the enemies here have the bird AI, aka the woo, which means they're all harder to dodge. Would you stop that? Kill, 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 kill. Hi, my Deckler. Kill, kill, kill. By the way, the last dungeon is worse than this. What the hell? There we go, sorry. I hit the wrong direction. That might be a death right there. That's why we saved at our house. Yeah, the only thing that mitigates this dungeon is there's a save spot and a full free heal right at the beginning of this dungeon, aka your house. No, it's just it is. Yeah, heal, 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 heal. By the way, you know the funny thing about the Sword of Kings? You're probably thinking that Pooh's melee damage sucks because of the fact that he doesn't have the sword. A little bit. The sword only increases his damage by 30. That is to say 30 offense points, which is not a small amount, but considering how much everyone else's damage is increased by their equipment, it's much smaller. It's actually funny. It's the final insult. The Sword of Kings isn't that great, it's just super rare. And looks like we're in the clear. There's actually no boss here, so we're good. Now the fun part, getting out of here. There's not enough room to teleport. Until, I think, right up here? I'm trying to remember. There's like a specific spot where you can, if you're careful, teleport out. Let's see if we can manage it. Right. There we go. Yep, that was it. That was it. Okay. Let's do it. It's final dungeon time. Actually, that's a lie. First, let's go buy some more bottle rockets. For once, we're going to use all of them on the trash, because there's no need... Well, we'll save 2 multi-bottle rockets for the last boss. Alpha does this. Here, I'll demonstrate it. it's a straight line. You can steer while doing it, but it's a straight line. So, by definition, beta requires less room, because you can do this. You can still move, you're still moving while doing it, like I'm doing right now. But it requires substantially less space to teleport. Now go and do it now, Mr. Red, because we still got to go through the Cave of the Past, and that dungeon sucks. I'm honestly thinking of a gameplay negative for that stupid place. That's what I was thinking earlier when I decided to build the new aggregate. So I've got... Oh, no. So I've got two... You're probably thinking, shouldn't you load up on MP restoring items? Yeah, that's why I got those puddings back in Magic Hand. You'll notice I'm at the point... This is something I very rarely do, but I'm at the point where I'm putting multi-battle rockets on other characters. They're now mules for Jeff. But yeah, this is officially the point where you should stop holding back at all. So we're not going to. I will explain why I don't like the Cave of the Past when we get there. I don't actually know if it's negative worthy. If it isn't, well then that'll be good, actually. Less negatives is a good thing. But it's mean as hell. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, my usual strategy for the Cave of the Past is to ignore every single encounter and beeline for the boss. Which is a lot harder to do than it sounds. Okay. Let's get one last heal in and one... I'd say one last save. It's actually not. In fact, there's no reason. We will get a save state save in here, just in case. It's pure cosmetic, Dakota. I don't actually know if they do the same thing with Yen. There you go, meteorite piece. Okay. Now we'll rest again. The Phase Distorter version 2 is equipped with 2 new features. First, it can repair your biological functions. Free heal. Second, it saves your progress. There's just one thing. You might not be able to return, so make sure you're optimally outfooted. Translation. This is a point of no return. No really. This is a point of no return. No really, no really, no really, no really, no really, no really. I'm gonna make a backup save here, just in case. Remember, the Phase Distorted version 2 is equipped with 2 new feet. Yes, you already told me this. Good morning, Baron. So, I didn't show this off, but this is actually a part of the underground that you can physically reach. Not the part we're at. We can get just a little bit off from here. Greetings! So you're finally here. Oh, been waiting forever. Excellent, you're truly excellent. There's only a little time left. I'll give you the last power. Who becomes conscious of Starstorm Omega. So, that hole right there in the upper right, that leads to the underground. Kidnapped, I was. Boing! Kidnapper. Bad guy. Bad guy gone. Zoom. Where? To the past. Ding ding. I'll take the Horn of Life, because Paula can die really easily in the last boss, which is a bad thing. Well, we seem to be stuck here. Oh, never mind. Here we go. Phase Distort has been completed. We could finish it quickly because of Mr. Saturn's incredible scientific skill. Gygus is attacking from this exact location. but he is attacking from many years in the past. It's very hard for me to tell you, but... You must warp to the past and fight, but... Yeah, what's up, Dr. Andonuts? In order to defeat Gygus, who is attacking from the past, you must warp to the past. This can be done by way of the phase distorter 3. However, the machine cannot warp living things. I mean, life forms. Life is demolished in the process of warping. Remember that for later, by the way. The only way to accomplish the time travel is to transfer your brain program into a robot and send the robot into the past. Transfer means your spirit will go with the robot, while your body is left behind. I cannot promise your spirit will come back. Yet you must understand that the 4 of you are the chosen ones. Do you still wish to face Gygus? If you say no, he actually insults you. You accept this while knowing you may not be able to return to your current form, right? Okay, you really have your mind set on this. Let me take a good look at you now. You can take a picture. Ness, please give me that red cap. This is silly. If it wasn't for Mother 3, I would be insulted by this. I guess it's not a good plot point. It means nothing for Earthbound. And this only comes up in Mother 3. So, whatever. Or the Earthbound Halloween hack, if you want to think of it that way. Which I don't, because that's not canon, because that shouldn't be canon. No offense, Mr. Fox. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have given a flashing warning. I apologize. I was going to look at the screen. Jeff, my son, there's no turning back now. Only a few people know of your amazing courage. Actually, I gotta be honest, we probably know a lot of people by now. I feel very fortunate to be present at the beginning of this monumental undertaking. Last dungeon time. Now, a common approach for me when I get to the last dungeon is to level at the beginning of the dungeon. The final dungeon isn't super large. Oh, that would be horrifying, Dakota. It isn't... So yeah, now we're robots. This isn't a super large place, but the enemies in the earlier parts are easier than the enemies in the later parts. It follows your typical progression thing. This also has a full heal and a save. Speaking of which, we are going to go ahead and save. So yeah, a common thing is I'll just sit here at the instant free heal and level up a little bit. We'll see if we need to. The final boss is actually quite easy, so we don't need the levels. We just need the levels to get through the last dungeon, because effectively, the last dungeon is the final boss. Ness, do you have a cold or something? Your voice sounds kind of funny. Oh well, I deposited some money into your account. You should have $100,000 in the account. God, I wish. Can I withdraw this yet, please? Yeah, you no longer have use for money, by the way. Money is no longer an object. Not counting the ending, as of this thing. So, let's talk about this dungeon. Now, this is pure headcanon. But the way what I'm seeing here is, again, going back to that classic concept of the aliens being the monsters. Oh, jeez, that was bad. The aliens, what I'm thinking... I'm explaining this wrong. Let's try it this way. I love the idea that the aliens are so warped and twisted and alien in the way that they are, that simply by being not by being here, excuse me, but by desire, by intent, they have terraformed this area in order to be more comfortable to them. Right? So they specifically are trying to make this place more them and less us. And so this is what I've always kind of assumed their aesthetic would look like if they actually had a choice in the matter. I know that is, of course, pure headcanon and pure speculation. But it does line up with the whole aliens equals monsters concept they've been pushing the whole game. Oh yeah, they give a lot of experience here, by the way. Obviously. Okay. There's those super bombs. Based on how they present it, the answer to that is probably no, Baron. say, this is going to be entirely dependent on how good of RNG I have for my initial attack. And he's at full health, because of course he is. We're okay now, though. With the Ghost of Starman gone, we're okay. Now we're just going to be here for 5 years, as he constantly heals himself to max. Every enemy here is part of a line. I've mentioned the lines things before. There's the Starmen, there's the robots, there's the octopus robots, there's the shamblers, there's the psychic dudes, and there's the krakens, the bionic krakens. Almost every enemy here is robotic. Every enemy here is robotic or alien. Because this is them. This is the actual alien stronghold, which, duh, right? Oh yeah, there's also the Boogie Tent thing. I actually forgot about him. I almost never encounter him. So this is actually the most efficient heal I could do right now, so we're just gonna heal everyone. There we go. Probably Baron. It's entirely possible that he doesn't actually have... Like, they don't really have a choice, you know? It's kind of like Colin Peluso. Colin Peluso doesn't actually have a choice but to give me bits. It's programmed into him. That's why I'll win in the end. Thank you for the bits, Colin Peluso. So either he's so powerful they can't help but follow him. He's so powerful that they are compelled to follow him because they're Sith. Really, Azure Diamond? Yeah, I almost never get him. Anyways, or they follow him for the same reason most people in real life have followed kings and queens for forever, because he's royalty. Because he's the one who is supposed to rule. Literally born to rule. That's actually a good question, Baron. I was trying to get a back attack. Most of these encounters aren't super bad. You'll notice, however, that dodging encounters is not happening. That's the first reason why this place kind of sucks. You are forced into encounters. You are not going to avoid encounters in this dungeon. Second reason this dungeon kind of sucks is because the enemies in here are very mean. Although, that at least makes sense. You know, last dungeon, strong enemies, sure. Again, we haven't actually encountered the really strong stuff yet. I've never gotten the bat from the Bionic Kraken, but I've also never tried. Yeah, no, we're in the last dungeon, Platonia. We're gonna wrap up. We do have... Basically, the entire first block is going to be taken up by this game, though, because there is stuff to do. Here. We're going to keep using Life of Omega to heal everyone. Aw, that was close, but oh, whatever. You'll notice I'm just kind of auto-battling for these ones. That's because it's not worth wasting resources on these ones. If you can't get through the first screen's enemies without blowing all your resources, then, yeah, you are not ready for this place. Oh my god! Do you know what the odds are of that? I think it's another 1 in 128 thing, Azure Diamond. Like I said, I've never even bothered trying to. But yeah, what I'm actually doing, a puff of logic, is I'm kind of Korean methoding, if it's not obvious. Now, we are going to go ahead and put on the legendary bat, which is the second best bat in the game. You notice we're almost at 255 offense. The only reason there's another bat that's better is because the other bat also raises your guts by, like, 50 or some ridiculous amount. Drop that. You shouldn't throw that bat away. Oh, whatever. Yeah, if I do a proper remake of this game, I'm changing those frickin' drop rates. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. In a single-player game, there is no good reason... Oh, it's 100 guts, my bad. There's no good reason for a drop rate in a single-player game to be less than 10%, with exceptions. If I have to kill 10 bionic krakens, roughly, obviously, because percentages don't work that way, in order to get that item, then that's sufficient. This is why I bothered to make sure I had about 500 mana on Ness in Magicant, because his mana battery is what's going to get me through this dungeon. There are times when I've gone ahead and accepted his health being lower to have closer to 600 or 700 mana going into here. Although that's pretty rough. Time for Area 2. Now things get mean. I don't know, Colin Peluso. I don't think they even know. I'm gonna go and try to run from this one. Then you are my mortal enemy, Puff of Logic. I must destroy you. And he's at full health. That is true. Itoy has flat out said he's moved on from the series, which is fine. But I was more thinking about why they haven't done anything with Mother 1, or 3, or frankly 2. Ugh. But no, I know several people are okay with random drops. I am not. I do not think that it's okay to sit and fight an enemy 100 times or 50 times or whatever to get a drop. Even in an MMO, I'm actually against the concept. It's just at least there's a reason for that to exist. Oh, hello. In an MMO. Okay. We're going to actually use some spells in this one. I'm going to go for it. Just, I mean, why not, right? At this point. Honestly, I'd rather save his mana. So you just bash. Actually, yeah, no. Well, that's why I say there's some exceptions, Azure Diamond. I can't think of any exceptions off the top of my head, but there's always exceptions, right? Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. I'm also predominantly speaking of most common RPG design, which have no problem making things 1 out of 16, 1 out of 64, 1 out of 128, or 1 out of 256. Those are all very common drop rates. And it sucks. I'm gonna go and try to kill these guys too, because running without the initial is problematic. You jackass! He just healed the Ghost of Starman to full. Well, let's repeat the exact same round we just did. Screw it, I'm just gonna throw another bomb. Come on, solidify. Or die. Nope. Okay, by surprisingly good luck, he didn't Starstorm, even though he had an action to do so. Thank you, Lieutenant Leroy Jenkins. Thank you. Very much, sir. Very much appreciate. Thank you. That does mean a lot to me. The money and the sentiment both. Because money does matter. I've said that before. Problem is it matters too much to most people. You know? Thank you. Money's... yeah. Money is also a good way of showing, not telling, in real life, you know. Oh, I hope you get better, versus, here's $10, I hope you get better. Those two things mean different things, you know. Putting your money where their mouth is, that kind of thing. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we're all going to have to kill you now, because you didn't actually say where you'd like to put that towards. So, I'll let you guys decide. Like, we've got stabbings, and we've got donuts. I mean, we've got options, you know. I'm ready. Round one. Oh, no, I do the Shang Tsung thing. There we go. Fried oil? Oh, we are not Mongols, okay? So, dealer's choice. Do you mind if I ask why you're putting that towards dealer's choice so I can continue to fill out this survey? There's two options that are, like, in the running for winning right now, and both of them are only one person off from each other, which is, you guys want me to play stuff that I want to play, and there's nothing in the list that interests you. Those are the two things that most people are picking. And Bio is the only one who hates me. Because you have no idea what you're doing. That sounds like couldn't decide or didn't check, is what that sounds like. Which do you think sounds more likely? You didn't decide to look into it, or you couldn't decide. Which do you think is more like? Because we have both of those categories. We didn't do a top 10 trailers. We did a top 10, like, everything. Earlier this year, Dago. It's still on the YouTube. You can still find it. If they had, you have a website as an answer, that would be didn't check, probably. Oh, we're here. Wow. Okay. We have actually had legitimately really good luck going through here. That's surprising. Usually I have a much harder time going through here. If you go to the website and scroll down, on the left side, there's like a bar on the left side. You'll see 3 buttons called short, medium, and long. If you click those, you'll see all the short games, medium games, and long games that are currently on the list for funding. Those are the options. So welcome to Intestine Land. It's worth noting this is not actually supposed to be organic. It's just supposed to be tech that's gross. And yeah, it's super black, and it's super awful, and it's super horrifying. I honestly was pretty grossed out by this first time I did it. So, there's the Devil's Machine. The Devil's Machine, let's talk about this right now. The Devil's Machine is, okay. Let's run through a bit of a timeline, okay? Really quick. Enjoy the scenery. Gygus was an alien who was part of the ruling class, who was being raised to be the leader of the alien forces. As a consequence, he was hateful and horrible and evil, as you would expect from the aliens. They're monsters, as I've already mentioned. He was interacted with by Maria. Maria helped raise him. He ended up loving her. That confused him because the emotion was sufficiently distorting to him that he just kind of had problems with that. So, between the abuse he suffered under what is effectively the Sith versus the love he felt for Maria, he kind of lost it a little bit. He ended up losing to us back in Mother 1, which set back the alien invasion substantially. This was also because of George, Maria's husband, who brought back the power of PSI. I've already mentioned that. That didn't stop him, however, it just slowed him down. So he decided to go ahead and conquer everything. So he was marshaling his forces, getting ready, and in the process he reached out to the Apple of Enlightenment. He said, I am conquering the galaxy. How are my plans going? I already read the whole conversation out for you. The Apple of Enlightenment said, no, you're going to get stopped by some kids named, and these are these people, and this is where they are. And Gygas is like, oh. So Gygas, in his desperation, decided to fulfill prophecy. Not knowingly, not willingly. And decided to go ahead and zip back to the past here. He also decided to do one other thing. He needed more power. After all, only with more power could he defeat us, right? So he used that PSI power, and then kept using it, and then kept using it, and then kept using it. And his own psionic power grew to the point where it started actually shredding his ability to exist. As he continued to shred himself, his own mind started getting broken down by the power he was unleashing. His minions built the device you see in front of you right now to contain him. Because Gygas became so unstable that he couldn't even maintain cohesive form. Unfortunately, yeah, I know, right, Dakota? Unfortunately, that just meant that all of that destroying himself power was now locked within a ball which was constantly focusing in on itself. So basically, picture someone who's kind of constantly generating fire, except now he's locked inside of an oven. By the point at which... So that happened, the event I just mentioned happened of him going back to the past. I know happened is kind of a weird thing, but bear with me. Basically at the beginning of the game, when Gygas was still sentient, sapient, and conscious. For the duration of the game, he has been back here, slowly being self-destructed as we're going through this. Yeah, I was going to say some Planescape Torment feels here. And by the time we get here, Gygas is effectively no longer a person. This is no longer a sentient sapient entity. This is... his mind has been completely destroyed, and all that's left is bare bones, childish emotion. I say childish, that's the wrong word. Childlike, like undeveloped emotion is all that's left of Gygas. And they're not even emotions that are connected to anything. They just happen, right? They're just emotional impulses in a field of psychic power. Yeah, Gygas has eventually devolved into a Lovecraftian monster. There is a caveat there, which we'll talk about in a minute. But, yeah, that's Gygas, and that's why he's locked into this machine. Now, earlier in the game, the last time we saw Pokey, remember him? Was in Forside when he was escaping in helicopter, but we've been seeing signs of him ever since. He's actually been one step ahead of us almost every step of the way, up to the Cave of the Past. Remember there was the one sat in there who was like, I was kidnapped. And we found out that there was another person who used time travel without being turned into a robot body. Now that's going to matter more for Mother 3 than it does for this game, but it is worth noting that Pokey didn't transfer himself into a robotic body. He just came back to the past. And once again, I love this presentation of Pokey. By effectively total coincidence, because Pokey has been such a loyal servant of Gygas, when he gets back here, he's effectively treated as the #1 guy, the first officer, the second in command of Gygas. Gygas doesn't have a brain anymore, which means Pokey is now effectively the one in charge of the alien invasion. So he has the aliens build a few things and work on a few things for him. And that includes an upgraded version of the psionic distorter, which we will see in just a moment. Now you might think there's some significance to Ness being in there, and there is. Obviously, Gygas has a little fixated on Ness because Ness was his downfall. There's the upgraded phase distorter I just mentioned. But, let's be honest. What Gygas is doing is completely instinctual. There is no thought into what he's accomplishing here, if you even call it that. Yes. Are you surprised? It's me, Pokey. I assist only the strong and the able. That's Pokey. You guys look pathetic. The Apple of Enlightenment has already made a prediction, but I won't let what the Apple of Enlightenment predicted take place. You guys will be beaten by Gygas. Gygas will be stronger, a more powerful entity than any other. Why? Because of me. I was led by Gygas, and now I'm here. The Apple of Enlightenment couldn't predict this. Now, okay, real quick talk. Master Gygas, no. Gygas is no longer the wielder of evil. In Japanese, there's a, I forget what the thing is. It's like, it's one of the suffixes that specifically means master. You know, such and such san. I don't think it's san. I forget which one it is, forgive me. This whole speech, Pokey has been saying Gygas Master, until this line of dialogue here. Sama. Okay, so he's been saying, it might be Sama, I don't actually know. So he's been saying Gygas Sama, until this line of dialogue, where he just suddenly drops the Sama. The English dialogue tries to get this across. It doesn't quite succeed, in my opinion, but the whole point is Pokey, at this point, no longer considers Gygas his master. He considers himself to have surpassed him. He has become the embodiment of evil itself, which he cannot control on his own. He is the evil power. Boss time! That's like a 6th phase fight. I just want to let this music play for a second, if that's okay. Really quick, before we beat the crap out of Pokey, why is he blue? Believe it or not, there's 3 reasons why he's blue. This is brilliant, in my opinion. This is an awesome sequence, because the first and most obvious reason why he's blue, a reference to blue, the blue religion, the happiest village, because that's when he entered Gygas' service. Remember, he was getting ingratiated into the happy cult, so that's when that's when his path started. Reason number 2. I don't know if you remember this, but way back in Onet, we talked to a mole who said, hey, the reason why you'll see humans who are blue in the face. That's how you can know they are under the influence of Gygas' evil power. Remember that? Now, that was a gameplay tutorial to indicate which human NPCs were enemies and which ones were NPCs, but... And the third reason, this one is almost assuredly a retcon, the third reason. But it's possible they had this planned out in advance because of the whole robot thing. The third reason is Pokey is feeling the effects of time travel on a living being. You are not supposed to time travel while being a biological thing. I don't want to spoil too much, but that will have impact on Mother 3, and he will be substantially more blue in Mother 3. Alright, so we're going to do a couple things really quick. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna be really cautious because I think he has a shield. Nope, I'm wrong. One of these has a shield, and I can't remember which. Oh, that's bad, 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 that's bad. Ah! Go! Go and die. Okay, fine, whatever. God damn it. Apparently Gygas has the shield. Got it. Well, there's the heal that I needed, like last turn. Could you res them, please? God damn it. So because I wasn't sure if he had the shield or not, I might actually lose this fight. No, Ventures, I don't want to spoil. I've already spoiled too much. This is really, really bad. This is so bad. This is the only fight in the final boss fight that's actually hard right here, and I screwed it up because I wasn't sure who had the shield. And, yeah, Yeah, Gygus is just back there chain casting AoEs, because he can do that. Yes, I know. I'm just gonna let Paula die. I'm just gonna let Paula die. I think it's technically in the thousands, Baron, something like that. Would you stop? I'm gonna lose this fight. I'm gonna lose this goddamn fight. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Nope, Jeff died before the text finished. God damn it! And there's the heal. I'm gonna lose this goddamn fight. That is not good. Okay. I'm gonna lose. Like I said, this is the only hard fight in this entire series. There's like 6 of these battles in a row. The text was scrolling so slowly. Yes, you suck. Here, do another heal. Use the multi-bottle rocket! Use the freaking multi-bottle rocket! Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. This is gonna kill. Oh, nope, that didn't actually kill him. I don't care. Okay, we just healed to full. Die! How did that do no damage? I mean, I know he has tons of health, but that should wreck him. I don't remember which shield does which. By the way, this is probably the single hardest fight in the game, ironically. Since there's like 5 fights after this. I'm level 70-something. Azure Diamond. There we go. Okay, okay. So we got past the hard part. There's actually one more fight we actually have to win. I understand you guys are already claiming to be heroes. Well, it is a gazillion years too early for you to oppose Gygus. You must feel pretty stupid keep fighting without even knowing what Gygus looks like. If you were to ever see Gygus, you'd be so petrified with fear, you'd never be able to run away. That's how scary it is. You want to turn off the Devil's Machine? Well, prepare to be amazed. So, Pokey, in his infinite wisdom, unlocks the Devil's Machine and lets Gygus out. What? Who would do that? Remember everything I told you about what's going on with Gygus? Why would you open up the machine? So isn't this terrifying? I'm terrified too. Gygus cannot think rationally anymore, and he isn't even aware of what he's doing now. His own mind was destroyed by his incredible power. What an almighty idiot. Yep, that's what he is. And you will be just another meal to him. Alright. It took years for me to know. So that's Gygus back there. He's loverly. I'm gonna recover a little bit here. To my knowledge, no, Mike. He did not. Oh, he's really low, isn't he? Let's go ahead and try that. You cannot grasp the true form of Gygus' attack. So what happens is Gygus technically has several attacks. Each of those attacks is called the same thing and looks the same, but what it is actually multiple different attacks. And all of them can do all kinds of fun stuff. By the way, notice that for once they're actually using the background to good effect there. Oh yeah, and if you haven't seen it, did I grab the image for this, Lorerun? Am I doing my job properly? I'm almost positive I grabbed the image for this, Lorerun. And that's because I did. Bam! Oh, hello. Show the image. Where's the friggin' image? I'm sorry, 1 second. There we go. Okay. So, that is Geeg, a.k.a. the last boss of the first game, a.k.a. Gygus, back when he was still a sentient sapient being. That on the left is Gygus in this game, except flipped upside down. To my knowledge, this has not been 100% confirmed, but quite a few... This is the kind of thing that I look at and like, oh yeah, no, that's intentional. There's no way that's not intentional. They surely did that on purpose, my opinion. Especially given how much thought and effort they put into the last boss here. By the way, as per usual, and I've said this before and I'll say this again, all last bosses should have something unique or special about them. It's the final boss, right? They actually had to come up with a completely new programming code for the combat for the final boss, just for the final boss, in order to make this work the way they wanted to. And as you will see, there is another thing about it that's pretty unique. Although whether it's a good or bad thing... So, let's recover a little bit. Let's do this. Oh yeah, this is also the boss music here. There's actually, like I said, there's 6 of them as things go on. Oh yeah. Another interesting thing about... Okay, this... We need to hurry up. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And we're good. So... let's go ahead and try and get Pooh up. Just for the heck of it. Because we need as many rezzers as we can here. Well, hang on, Azure Diamond. We'll get there. We'll get there. I will explain. I'm kind of with you, but I don't think it's a full negative, even if it is a negative. Oh yeah, so he keeps saying Ness. In Japanese, what he's effectively saying is Mr. Ness, in an extremely formal sense of the word, which is supposed to add to the surreal nature of the scene here. That he's like, imagine if a secretary is like, Mr. Ness, as you're fighting that thing, and you get an idea of what's supposed to be going on here. He also doesn't attack every turn, which is good, because his attacks can do every status effect in the game, and AoE damage, obviously. Heal, heal, heal. Actually, yeah, the G-Man in Half-Life is a perfect example of what Gygus is supposed to sound like. Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's get Pooh some mana. I'm kind of starting to fall behind a little bit on this fight, even though this is one of the easier phases. So let's do that. Super Bomb. Super Bomb. And, honestly, let's just defend. Damn it, come on, hit the one person with the badge. Okay, there we go. Phase 2 done. You must really be at the end of your row. In this bizarre dimension, you four are the only force fighting for justice. And here you stand, waiting to be burned up with the rest of the garbage of this universe. It's so sad. I can't help but shed a tear. You know, my heart is beating incredibly fast. I must be experiencing absolute terror. Do you want to scream for help in the dark? Why not call for your mommy? Say, Mommy, Daddy, I'm so frightened. I think I'm going to wet my pants. I know you have telepathy or something, so just try and call for help. You pathetically weak heroes of so-called justice. That's the hint. Now, I don't think they get credit for this in the English version of the game, which is what we're reviewing. But this was clearer in the Japanese version. That is when the game tells you, use the pray command. Don't worry, your pitiful suffering will be over soon. Phase 3. Starting to distend even more. Thank you very much, Tokyo Vampire. As always, appreciate that sub in the middle of the final boss fight. I'll put that towards Days Gone? That should finish off Days Gone, I'm almost positive. Where are you at? There you are. But yeah, you can kind of see how Gygus is losing cohesion, more or less literally by the minute at this point. Thanks, Pokey. Ness. His attacks also get meaner at this point. Oh, that's awful RNG. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Wow. Alright, that... Wow. It's not right, it's not right, it's not right. Oh! Ah! Okay, for safety's sake and for the sake of the Lorerun, we're gonna make a save state here. Because holy crap. I mean, we already cheated, right? Oh my god, that is awful. Oh yeah. That is truly atrocious RNG. So Paula prays, please give us strength if it's possible. Please. Somebody, help us. Yes, Mr. Red. So first we reach out to Saturn Valley. You actually cannot defeat him without doing this. Even if you reduce his HP to 1, it won't trigger the script for the end of the fight. So, this is Andonuts and Apple Kid have returned to Saturn Valley, obviously, having just finished sending us off to our doom. But, all of the Mr. Saturns felt a new startling feeling they never experienced before, and they all started praying for the safety of Ness and his friends. As you can see, he's not doing great. This is actually still pretty rough, by the way. Because you only have one person who could win, and if anything happens to her and you can't res her, that's game. That's why I got a backup save there. We're actually gonna do that. I'm so sad. Friends, I'm so sad. Please give us strength. Anyone who can hear our plea, help us. Yeah, I already showed off the picture of CO2 Dog. Suddenly, the runaway five felt something stop him. He prayed fervently for the safety of Ness and his friends. $50 damage. Woohoo! He's gonna be just chain healing almost every round to make sure everyone stays up. I'm gonna try and get Jeff up if I can. Yeah, you literally cannot beat Gygas with brute force. He is simply too much raw power. That's his entire problem. Okay, it's bad, but not as bad as it could be. Speed this prayer to the people of the earth. There's 3 reasons why I think this works. No, Baron. Hard to gauge, Mr. Red. It's like gauging the power of a star that's in the middle of going supernova. Paula's father thought he somehow heard his daughter's voice and prayed sincerely for the safety of Paula and her friends. See, this is the power of friendship, beating God. But I really like this one. I'd say this is probably my second favorite version of this trope that I've ever seen. All the way back at the cave, the beginning of the cave, Dakota, we'd go back to the beginning. So dying here sucks, speaking from experience. There's several reasons I like this, though. Reason number 1. I feel like it earned it. Remember, the whole point is the PSI power we're using already exists, it's just we have access to it. The whole mutant gene thing. I keep comparing it to gravity. Because the power of psi, the power of psychic abilities and emanations, whatever you want to call it, is already here and already present, and has been since forever. It's just the aliens came up with a way to specifically channel it and use it. So what's happening here is we are connecting together everyone we have met who, through our connection to the planet, thanks to going around to the Earth Sanctuary things, we're effectively doing exactly what it sounds like. All the people are focusing through the world so people generating, focused through the planet, into us, which is directing at Gygas. Suddenly Tony felt anxious about Jeff, and he prayed strongly for the safety of Jeff and his friends. $224 damage now. By the way, that's actually meaningless. It's not doing any damage. It's purely cosmetic. We're just gonna keep doing it. Keep doing it. I'm not going to mention the story everyone kind of has misreported over the years, which is the story about the theater that Mr. Itoi walked into that inspired this. It's not even that much of a story. He accidentally walked into a theater where a woman was being strangled to death and in the middle of sex, and that freaked him out because the combination of pleasure and pain was something that he didn't like seeing, especially when he was 11. And he wanted to replicate that feeling of, oh god, this is weird and creepy, with this boss fight. That's the story, very quickly. Bam. And I know, CO2 God, they're not actually praying to destroy Gygas. It's just they are praying, we are pulling that power through the planet, then we are focusing it, and now Gygas is just destabilizing. This is also pretty much the same thing that happened in Mother 1, just far more better accomplished. Because Gygas literally cannot comprehend what is happening to him. Again, he has no brain at this point, so of course he can't comprehend it. But he can still feel it because there's still something of him left there. 394 damage. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my last pudding at Pooh here. Yeah, this is a great way to show just what is left of Gygas at this point. And remember, he's getting worse every minute. Remember Frankie? Arguably the first boss of the game. Suddenly Frank recalled Ness's shining young face and began to pray diligently for the safety of Ness and his friends. $741 damage. That's not right, not right, not right, not right. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that could have been worse. Let's just do this. Ooh. Okay. That could be worse. Yeah, this is also the final, you know, aliens or monsters motif of the game. It's more implied than anything else, but the idea that Gygas, by his very nature, simply cannot comprehend human decency is freaking him out. And of course, Pokey is kind of the exception that proves the rule there. Hi, Mom. I miss you, Mom, apparently. Suddenly, Nessa's mother felt terribly uneasy, and she began to pray. Ooh. Pray for the safety of her son and his friends. 1,347 damage. Final phase. He's not doing so hot. Probably, Mr. Red. I can't think of anyone else. Anyone, please help us. Alright, small story time. The first time I ever did this game, this boss, Paula's call was absorbed by the darkness. I was like, oh, well, okay, I'm done now. So that's the end of praying, right? So I stopped praying at that point. You can still die at this point in the game, by the way. Someone, can you hear me? Please give us strength. God damn it, it's already starting to hit me a little bit. Paula and her friends' hearts touched the hearts of whoever that is. Whoever that is prayed for the kids, having never even met them before. 3,668 damage. They kept praying. We've won, by the way. 7,187 damage. They kept praying. God damn it, I can't believe this hit me. 14,850 damage. The lore walkers kept praying. 25,900 damage. You're supposed to put your name in there. And I'll admit, that caught me the first time I saw that. I was. Yes, now well, it's gonna seem like I'm running away. But perhaps I'll just sneak away to another era, think about my next plan. It's a good bet that we'll see each other again. I'll be seeing you. So now which one of us do you think is the cool guy? Spankety, spankety, spankety. So Pokey escapes through time, to be seen again in the sequel. And Gygas completely cessates in his final moments. I agree with Mr. Red's idea. I think in his final moments, all he was feeling was that love and general decency. Destroyed him. Utterly and completely. And Gygas is gone. Unfortunately, Even our robot bodies simply could not withstand the kind of power that he was pushing out simply by existing. So our robot bodies are dead. Destroyed, whatever word is appropriate there. Unfortunately, for reasons that are never explained, and honestly it's one of the only things I don't like about this ending, our spirits actually go ahead and pop out of them. Since only biological matter cannot travel through time, our spirits have no problem coming back to the present. Also, I'm pretty sure the only reason for the robot thing is for this scene to happen, so that we could die, but then still have the happy ending. Because if that was our regular bodies, then we would be dead. I'm pretty sure that's why they structured the story that way. From an out-of-character perspective. Mother 3 would continue the whole time-traveling idea, as I've already referenced many times. Here's the rules of time travel. Just showing that Kingdom Hearts wasn't the first game to have confusing and ridiculous time travel rules. I would have probably had you play as someone else for the ending, Mr. Red, and have most of the structure of the ending being the same, just you're playing as someone else. So they would stay dead. They would have died to stop Gygus permanently. Our travels end together here. I must return to Dalam and use this experience for the good of my country. Ness, Paula, Jeff. Let me demonstrate a strange power before I go. I realized this power as a child. PSI, farewell! Dude, you can just make that happen? Holy crap. Paula, Ness, it was great to hang out with you guys. It really was. I'm glad I had the chance to use some of the theories that I've been studying so hard. It's remarkable. If just maybe... Well, when you two get hitched someday, maybe I'll be the one that fixes your broken electronic appliances. I'm gonna stay here for a while, see if I learn more from Dr. Andonuts. I mean, from Dad. So this is goodbye for now, my friends. Aww. Will you escort me home? I'll miss all you, but I have to go back to being just a regular kid. God, that would be horrible. Go back to being a regular kid after this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and grab a save real quick. We're going to give out a positive to story for the Gygus fight. Actually, let's do this. No, Mr. Red. It's because it's you. You're Gygus, Mr. Red. Sorry, spoilers. Ironically, I actually agree with you, Dakota. Speaking as someone who has died on the final fight, because Paula died and I couldn't res her. That sucked. Because, yeah, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the final dungeon. And as I've already established, that place kind of sucks. We got lucky with the final dungeon. It's the only time we got lucky in the whole game. That was it, Mr. Red. You've been the negative luck this whole time. Why are you doing it to me, man? Sorry. Yeah, I agree. If there was one part of the whole game where I should get lucky, where I would choose to get lucky, it'd be the Cave to the Past. That place can be so rough. I'm astonished at how we just breezed through there. FF6 and the Lord Tirek fight in My Little Pony Adventures. Hang on, Sierra Mike, hang on. I want to finish typing all this up because we're effectively done with the review at this point. I don't think we're going to add any additional positives or negatives after this. Oh, absolutely, Sinister Wing. Puts us, ironically, at 10 gameplay positives and 10 gameplay negatives right now. I don't know how to really display that. And so that's for the Gygas fight, the loss of time, the playable ending. Those are, those are positives, positive, negative, positive. Positive to story for Magicant, the way it's presented. Positive for the outro in general. Positive for the defeat of Gygas. Positive for the ending on the story axis, which actually puts us here on story. Yeah, sure, that's not a bad idea. We'll do that. And that. Whoop, that's the wrong button. There we go. Okay. That's probably the review right there. Let's see if we change our minds. Incredible. Excellent. I'm not quite sure what for, but congratulations on a job well done. If we ever get the chance to get together again, let's go to a picnic or something. What, no booze? Was scared. Now KO. Hi, strong boy. There's a letter from Mom. There's a letter from Tony. There's a letter from the kids. It was fun hanging out together. It's a miracle that only happened because of your great courage. Believe me, I went through a lifetime's worth of stress while you were gone. I just wish I could have come with you as a robot. I should have used the phase distorter. What a story that would have been. Scientist and 4 kids save the world. Chances of Gygas gaining victory with his monstrous plan was 99%. However, your courage produced a 1% chance that Gygas failed. I must try to come to a deep understanding of this trait called courage. Well, you see, there's this guy called Flying Man. It was in Winters we last met? I just got here. Okay, so this is a fully playable ending. And you can go basically anywhere in the whole freaking game. And, I'd say close to 40 or 50% of the NPCs have something new to say. Ah, Ness, you've read it already. That Tony has a heart of gold. Actually, I haven't read it, but that's his response to it. Dear Jeff, everything's going really great here. I wish I could have gone with you on your adventure, even just part of the way. But instead, I'm sitting here waiting for you in Winters. I just want to see your face again as soon as possible. I can't wait to see your cheerful face. I bet your glasses are dirty. If you come back, I'll clean them for you. Like I said, I'm waiting for you. Yours truly, Tony. P.S. Don't show this letter to anyone. Dear Paula, how are you doing? I'm fine. I'm fine too. So are me. Me also. Me okay. Please come play with us again at the Polestar Preschool. Oh yeah, one more thing. Bring us presents, if you have any. Your friends at the Polestar Preschool. Dear Ness, how are you? Since you left home on your journey, things have changed around here. For example, I don't have as much laundry. Also, we don't seem to eat as sushi as much as we used to. I heard you defeated some Universal Evil character. What was it, Googie or something like that? That sounds really great. I want to hear all the details, so hurry home, okay? Tracy King and I are waiting for you. Not Dad, though. So I'm going to try and remember all the places you can go to talk to. Like the ones that are actually different. There's only 2 I have in my mind that I really want to show off. Yes, I did. CO2 dog. Okay, so we'll kind of do this in reverse order. Just the usual. So yeah, Mom, I defeated the Universal Evil of Darkness. Actually, I can talk to these guys first. You know, the funny thing is, my mom would just be like, huh. Okay. How'd you manage it? I'm like, well... After an earthquake... See, I can't remember what everyone says, so some people say new things, and some people don't. Oh yeah. Let's go and make a phone call. Let's call Mock Pizza. Hello, this is Mock Pizza. Our delivery men got tired and quit, so we decided to close shop. Thank you for consistently using us for all your pizza needs. Let's call... Dad. Hi, it's your dad. To get to the next level. I guess I don't need to tell you this anymore. Next week will be your birthday. I'm trying very hard to be home for that big day. I'll be sure to get you a good present. I've been following your adventures closely, but I want to hear about them from you in person. You sound a lot more... mature over the phone. I'll see you at home then. Yeah. No, the funny thing is, assuming this was the equivalent of real life, what would happen is I would talk to Mom, or Mom, and she would say, I was praying for your safety. Did it work? And my response would be, yeah. And that would probably be the conversation right there. Now, pretty much every random encounter in the entire game has been removed. Not all of them, though. There are a couple random encounters left. You can also crash the game by dying to one of them, although you have to set that up in advance, and I didn't, so... Say anything now here. I don't need words anymore. I'll turn back into a simple rock. No, Mr. Rock. So the only one I knew changed there was the rock. The rock says, I'm done. It's time to turn back into a simple rock. Poor rock. Now we go up to Tenda. Come on. Your internet is going. Mr. Red, your internet is going. Daisy. Daisy. Hi. Welcome to this farm. Take a rest. Long journey you must have been. The book Overcoming Shyness is very helpful. We kept it for a long time, but I'll return it now. Thank you very much. We got the Shyness book. We're living in peace now, in a wide variety of lifestyles. Thank you very much. I'm a woman. Did you think I was a man? Would you like some tea? No! Hi, how are you today? Oh, you're not feeling well? Be healthy. Underground, very large area. Exist. Dinosaurs, big, scary. Lost underground stone. There is talk slots. My power. Oh, inspiring. Recently, everyone's able to talk a lot, so I've lost my identity. Aww. Poor guy. What I'm doing right now is actually a pretty normal approach for me. I just kind of do a world tour. I don't always hit absolutely everything, but there are a few playthroughs where I have talked to and reached out to every single area in the game. Which is how I stumbled onto that crashing the game thing I mentioned earlier. Yes, I actually found that one on my own. That was a fun surprise. I just laughed. Because honestly, I mean, by that point, I know the ending. I did it. It's just, oh, whoops. I don't think I can at this point. Can I have CO2? Because Paula stays in the party even when you take her home, doesn't she? Memory serves. Oh, I got rid of the monkey's love. Oh, absolutely. To be honest, Lieutenant Leroy, I've always thought that. Oh. I mean... I got flack once for saying that, you know, I'll be praying for your safety. And someone... And I said that, you know, out loud. And someone was like... Just because you may or may not believe in God, they didn't know whether I believe or not in God, by the way, doesn't mean, and I was like, that's not a God thing. And they were like, what do you mean? You said praying. And I just explained to them my mentality. It's, you know, I don't want to say I have well wishes and hopes that things go well for you. So I just say, no, I'm praying for you because I do want things to go well for you. Like I said, I've always mentally distanced the concept of praying from the concept of religion. However, nobody else thinks that way, so that's one of those words I kind of ground out of my vocabulary. Nowadays, I just say I hope things are going well, or hopefully things are going good, or maybe things will be as good as they possibly can, and just all sorts of stuff like that, instead of saying, you know, I'm praying that things are going well, or pray that things go well, and so forth and so on. Pray be swift. Come on. What an international person. Yeah, Pooh is super international. I mean, I've had people get on my case for all kinds of things in my life, CO2 dog. One time, someone got on my case for saying Merry Christmas. It's Happy Holidays. How dare you presume my religion, was roughly it. Now, what was funniest about that is I was actually with a friend of mine, who I do know is completely atheist, who her response was, he's just trying to wish you a Merry Christmas, you asshole. And she just tore into him. It was really funny. We understand that you have experienced hardship in the past. No one can fight the evil entity except you. We are proud. We are happy. You're here. We have little, but stay and rest for a while. I'm impressed. You did so well for one who hasn't had much training. Oh, damn it. Fuzzy Pickles! Just for you, Goofy Movie. Pooh, go away. Go away, Pooh. There we go. As I thought, the prophecy foretold our only chance for success. I know, right, Loner? Please enjoy the life ahead of you as a regular boy. God, I would not want that. Granted, I'm not sure what I would want for Ness, but obviously it's what he wants that matters, which we have no idea of because Ness is not a character, so who knows what he wants. Whoops, I didn't mean to go to Onett. Here, hang on. Ugh, there we go. Let's try that again. Ness wants to rule the galaxy. If you're going to the pyramid, prepare well. Well, okay. Let's go talk to the hint guy. I want to thank you for all the times that you used the hint shop. It's been a while since I first saw you. This is my final day in the business. Oh, so long, kid. No, Master Ness. See you again, if fate allows it. I don't remember if he's in Mother 3. I don't think he is. Or even a version of him. Yeah, he sells water for $200 in the desert. Nice guy. Yes, that's Ness. I know, shocking, guys. It's that guy from Smash. Oh, this must be how Fire Emblem fans feel. Yeah, exactly, Dakota. $200. Why are you pulling out your knife? Fire Emblem first came to my attention. I think a friend of mine pointed it towards me. Hey, see how most of the enemies are gone, like I talked about earlier? It's okay, even if there were enemies here, I could absolutely destroy them at this point. I still like the headcanon idea that Ninten is Ness's dad, but that is headcanon. As we've talked about before, there really are not that many connections between Mother 1 and Mother 2. If he says anything. I really don't. Oh, there's a few ventures, yes. Whoops. For example, Ness has a presence. And Andonuts. Favorite memory from this game? Honestly, you already saw it, the final boss fight. The first time I ever played this game, I was completely unprepared to see the Lorerunner up there on, the Lorerunner prays for the safety of the kids, and it was just like, and that completely threw me. I was not ready for that at all. Hit me though, in a good way. I'm turned around. God dang it. Wait. It is down. It is down. I'm right. So remind me of the hot dog theory, because I usually don't pay attention to crackpot theories because they're insane and evil and crazy. But if I want a crazy theory, I'll just go to myself. It was always Etro's dream, guys. I know Fire Emblem didn't come to me by Smash. I remember that. But I think it was a friend of mine, who I'm not going to name out loud, who pushed me towards it. Basically, yes, Dakota. Also, the idea that you, the player, are hoping for the safety of the characters. Welcome. I don't know how, but my homemade dungeon helped you out. I'm glad. Yep, that's it. That's all he says. We came all the way out here just for that. Oh, gotcha, Goofy movie. I never even heard of that one. But yeah, no, a friend of mine was like, hey, there's this game called Fire Emblem that I'm trying to get a fan patch of. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I looked into it a little bit, and that's pretty much the moment I decided not to get into Fire Emblem. I can't believe you made it back alive. Holy crap. Not because it didn't sound interesting, but because it sounded like a series that I would actually be very interested in and couldn't get copies of in English. So, yeah, I walked away from Fire Emblem for quite a while. In fact, honestly, playing it for the show was the first time I ever really got into it. Starting with 7. Tenda Tribe used to live here. Okay, so we're gonna stay at the hotel. This is the first hotel we've encountered on our reverse tour. It's okay, we got 30 grand lying around. Terrible sound recently heard. Possibly the sound of evil being destroyed beyond our time and space. I actually don't know, Mr. Ed. I usually use the cloth method. When you know, that kind of thing came up. I stayed here the whole time you were gone, but now I don't know why I did. Aw, poor guy. Yeah, I would imagine Awakening is kind of the FF7 of the Fire Emblem series. For good and for bad. Nothing new there, but I know there's at least two new things here in Summers I want to show off. There's the first. Can't make any more magic cakes. If you want to try something tastier, I have magic tart. I can make one extra good today. Aw, thanks. Well, I don't mean in terms of quality, Dakota. I mean, FF7 was a lot of people's first FF, thanks to just all the very many variables that happen around it that I've talked about before. Now, we're going to make a save state here for no reason. Just again, I'm pretty sure I set this up wrong, so this shouldn't be a problem. Just in case. You have a good reputation. Wouldn't you like to focus your hard-working energy in the exciting field of archaeology? Nice seeing you in such good shape. I wonder what Porky Pokey's doing. Yeah, that's the boy I met before. It's the only time he's called Porky in this game, by the way, is when he's called Porky Pokey. Yep, enemy's not here. It's okay. So it is possible for there to be an enemy here. You have to set it up in advance. If there is, it's possible to die here. If you die, you crash the game. Because they really were not ready for you to die in the ending. Holy crap, I thought nobody would notice, K-Ross. Yes, or Cross, excuse me. That is exactly correct. I actually went and took that screenshot special just for that thumbnail, which I know isn't much, but whatever. I loved Three Houses. I complained about it a lot, but I did still love that game. Compared to the olden days, this boat ride's like being on a luxury liner. You want another ride? I'll give you a ride if you want, since you destroyed the Kraken. 20 bucks per person. No thanks, I can just teleport there. Stay here and shiver in fear for your future. Oh yeah, I gotta show that off too. Is this it? Nope. Other one, other one. Let's make a phone call. Let's go head out to the Stoic Club. Yo, lazy cowpoke, stop and go. Yeah, we're a new truck stop. We just opened. What's that? The Stoic Club? Oh, that lame old place they shut down ages ago. We totally remodeled the place. Now we got loud music, great food, and rowdy crowds. Listen, buddy, I'm too busy to talk right now. Stop by anytime. You come, you enjoy, I promise. Well, plus the combat was just amazing in Three Houses. Probably my favorite combat gameplay, whatever you want to call it. The actual tactical layer was amazing. Aw, no miners allowed. We're not going to go far here. Jeff just called. He was Dr. Andernuts. Two of them may be able to develop a new scientific theory. You've helped make a beautiful life for everyone. Jeff doesn't call me. Maybe he thinks I'm too annoying, but I don't think so. Ness, did you tell him not to call me? No, I know you wouldn't do that. If you see Jeff, please ask him to call Tony. Thanks. Jeez, dude. Ness, my husband's been returning home late these days. He says he's busy. I know he's out saving the Earth, but a marriage is also important. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. That's true, Dakota, we haven't. Favorite place in this game? Honestly, I'm gonna go with Tucson. Well, Fire Emblem Three Houses has better maps than Awakening, a better leveling system and class system than Awakening, and has better features in combat than Awakening. That's my sales pitch right there, CO2. If that's not sufficient, it's probably not going to be sufficient, because the core combat turn-based grid-based tactical RPG remains the same. So that's up to you. Yeah, well, Path of Radiance is actually on the list or the queue, I forget which. So we'll get there someday. I wonder what Tessie thinks of me. She doesn't. Tessie appeared again and smiled at me today. Aw, that's kind of cool. I take it back. She's cool. Think my name will make it in the newspaper? No. Can't believe I was so brave. I'm so glad I finally saw it. I'm so happy it brings tears to my eyes and make my nose run. I waited for you. I'm glad to see you again. You're back, Sebastian. I just love making haiku. Wait, I played Path of Radiance? Which one was Path of Radiance? Because I thought I played Fate, and Awakening, and 7, and Genealogy. Yeah, that doesn't help, as I took out. Yeah, no, I haven't, have I played 9? If I do, I have no significant memory of it, which, if it's for rumination, that wouldn't surprise me. Oh, thanks. So I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, we can go all the way through this place and talk to Monodily. He doesn't have anything cool to say, so we're not doing that. We just want to talk to 2 quick people here. So apparently I have played Path of Radiance? God, which one was Path of Radiance? Whatever. Absolutely venture. Playable endings are awesome. More games should have them, if they could afford it. Don't forget, life is money. I've lived that life. You can buy everything but love, friendship, and experience points. Well, in Morrowind... Yeah, I know it's on the GameCube, it's just, it's not hitting me. Like, I'm not remembering any details about it at all. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Oh, you again. Look, I'm busy right now. I'll give you an autograph next time. You here to see my show? No. Looks like you aren't too busy. Make yourself at home. Thanks. I mean, we could just warp straight home if we wanted to, Heartbuild one. But I wanted to do 2 things. 3, 80, 70. I've got a laundry list, okay? Today's newspaper. Megalopolis Foresight to have another busy day. Great. That's informative. One more thing. Right. I actually have to show this off. Everdread is still totally dead. Hey, it's Pokey's father. Hey! Yes, Pokey left me, his own dad, and just disappeared. If you see him, tell him he should take better care of his father after I beat the crap out of him his entire life. Don't tell my wife and Onette I've been spending my time here. Whee! How about an espresso? Thanks. Sorry about the other day. This sidewalk cafe isn't as profitable as it used to be. It's just a hangout for regulars. Hey, long time no see. I've thought of a new joke. Knock knock. Who's there? Sawyer. Sawyer who? Sawyer doing well. I'm fine too. You don't think this is funny? I really thought it was funny for you. Now my self-confidence is totally shot. Back to therapy. that I gave you was critical, helping you win. We rock! Woo! That's a good question, Mr. Red. Probably one of my only complaints about the English localization is they tone down or outright remove all of the signs of Pokey coming from a damaged family. Which I do think is important, because it really helps to explain so much about Pokey and the way he is. It also helps serve as another contrasting point between Ness and Pokey. Found a diamond. Well, I take what you can get. Are they literally saying the same? Oh my god, they're saying the exact same bit of dialogue. Wow. Is he not? No, whatever. Hey, Nemesis. We could talk to the Dalai Lama. We're not. It's a long trip down there. Agreed, Bio. Hey, Nemesis. Yeah, what do you guys think of the Lorerun, guys? One of the last Loreruns we'll ever do. Town used to be dark, but thanks to you now it's bright. Yay! Town is at peace, but my wife and kids won't speak to me. What's the problem? You made our lives peaceful so I can sleep again. It's like you used a bunch of peace paper, right? Became quite peaceful compared to before. Since the tunnel was cleared, many cars have started driving through. It's really noisy. I didn't like fighting the zombies, but those days were never dull. Actually, I'm kind of glad we got to see real zombies. You're the enemy of all zombies, you monster! Those probably shouldn't still be around, but let's ignore that. No, every run I do is a Lorerun Codex. Wink, wink. Zombies and ghosts are not on the loose anymore. Oh yeah, you guys got rid of them. Whoops. Thought there was something more to you than just your smile. Little did you know. I don't think this guy says anything new, but we'll talk to him just in case. I'm doing well in the health food business. People can get over any illness they might catch. Don't you think it's a great business? I can make you believe anything. We'll see, Mr. Red. Kidnapping is wrong. I'll be careful not to kidnap anyone. I mean... Good life advice? I see you at the Tapala Theater in Forsyth. So you're a Runaway 5 groupie too! Goes for a short period. Thank you for your years of support. Mr. Poochie Food, Manager, Chaos Theater. Okay, sure. You would take the time to talk to animals. Well, of course I do. I mean, honestly, I already did the Baldur's Gate Lorerun in Neverwinter Nights. Even if Everett has passed on, he'll keep watching us. He'll keep watch over us from wherever he's at. So did the for sale sign help you? Yeah, I was the one that sold it to. The kidnapped girl was saved. What? You saved her? That's hard to believe. You don't look like the hero type to me. Everdread's dead. He is actually dead. He's been dead since Forsyth. Orange Keyed is deep into a world-class invention. Must be hard being an ultra genius. Yeah. Glad to see you so healthy. All my thoughts on happiness have changed. Yeah, tell me about it. So we can go to Happy Happy Village, but there's almost nothing different there. No, Venters. That $200 is burnt. Take the bus or not to take the bus? Tracy doesn't work anymore. Yeah, she used to. Huh? This is Ness? I've heard about the great work you're doing. It's an honor to talk to you. Oh, you're calling for delivery? I'm very sorry. My wife is on maternity leave, so I'm taking over care of my other kid. I decided to take some time off from the delivery business. It's right next to the fridge. Put it in the microwave. That's it. Sorry about that. I'm a little busy right now, as you heard. I really would like to hear some of your stories. Oh, that was the dog food. Hey, now look what you've done. I'm sorry. I gotta go. Bye. Yeah, I think there's actually two people who say something different if you go to Happy Happy, and Carpenter is one of them. Like I said, I actually at one point in time had a list that I just wrote down on paper of everyone who says something different. Just come here to get your investment money back? No? Can you wait a little longer? I promise I'll finish my brilliant invention. I rely on your support, even though I am a super genius. Does that answer you, Venters? Yeah, I need my money. I need my 200 bucks. My 30,000's getting lonely. So I don't think there's anything here, and I'm right. Let's go and do this. Thank you for escorting me home. There was something I wanted to tell you, but I've forgotten it. I'm sure I'll remember by the time I see you again. Well, I guess this is it. Goodbye. So long. See ya. Bye. That's true, Venters. When I grow up, I want to be just like Paula. Thank you for saving Paula. Oh, you're welcome. You've lost some weight since I last saw you. I wish. Why don't you drop by more often? I'm working at making better sushi. Yes, it is Goofy Movie. It's actually in a newspaper that only shows up if you go to sleep in the Forsyth Inn right after you have the Everdread scene in Forsyth. You're a very strong young man. My opinion of you has changed. Perhaps you should continue dating Paula. Just treat her right. Come by and visit anytime. You can even sleep on the living room couch instead of the one in the den. Thanks. Remember, teenagers in the English version. Yes, I guess it's time for you to go home. Everyone's probably worried about you. Yeah, a little bit. Wait, we never get to kill Bernadetta's dad? Aww. Of course they do, Mr. Red. What? I mean, okay. These two do not have any character. Let's just go ahead and say that. But it doesn't mean I don't want them to have a happy ending. And happy ending can include, like, a good, actual, loving relationship. And I'm totally down for that. Oh, I forgot to be less stupid. To show off really quick here. Good morning. Ness and friends made honorary citizens of Threed. Aww. That was actually a little close. I'm just really tired, guys. Okay, it's been a long day. How about reading the newspaper? Monsters disappear, animals calm down, the town is at peace. I mean, to use my own terminology, CO2 Dog, it's not a negative, but it's also not a positive, right? The only character who gets a positive in this game is Pokey. because he's the only real character, in my opinion. Everyone else has very, very limited characterization. Aw. Yep, so I think we're stuck not using the bicycle, sorry. Yeah, I actually forgot to not get the bike until now. I even thought about it, too. But unfortunately, it's in storage, and that means it's gone, because I can't actually access my storage right now. Probably the end of the train scene in FF6. That's the first thing that comes to mind immediately. Oh, I can? I thought she would just be like, hey! Alright, we'll go ahead and do that then. I just called them Ness Ventures. I usually didn't rename characters back in the day. Not all that much, anyways. You sure are strong. You got me, at least. Well, you know. But yeah, it is rather Dragon Questy. It took until... I'm going to rewind that a bit. Some of the Dragon Quest games do have strong characterization, but most of them don't. I could, but there's nothing there, Mr. Red. Isn't it nice to talk to so many people? I gave you some advice when I spoke to you the first time, right? Every baker's been making leaky sandwiches. Yeah, there's nothing there, Mr. Red. It's a little bit longer, guys. We're almost done. We need to talk to the cops. Remember the guys who beat the crap out of us and killed us like 5 times? Oh, yeah, ask about a driver's license. You're way too young. Well, riot's over. Now I can move on to parking enforcement. Hooray! Dum-dee-dee. So you've traveled all over the world. I bet you didn't meet anyone stronger than I, did you? I know you didn't. Yeah, it was around... I think FF7 was around the time I started renaming characters, and then I just renamed them after friends. You know, there'd be a Pax and a Gary and stuff like that. But not a Mr. Red, because he's just a pure evil. I heard you asked a Tucson girl out on a date. What's her name? You know, you have one of those baby faces that really attract the girls, you lucky boy. I know where Frank is. Just going through it. And yeah, Eric would be a character. Like in FF7, Eric would be Vincent, for example. Although I didn't meet Eric for years later, but still. Yeah, Link being named Ganon has been a habit of mine since way back. Like, I think Zelda 1 is when I started naming Link Ganon. Originally, it just kind of amused me, and then it sort of just stuck because I like the name more. And it, I don't know, became a tradition. Thank you for the sub, as always, Eric. If you happen to want to put that towards something, let me know. Hello, Hazardous. Goodbye, Hazardous. You look like you'd be a real target for the sharks. Nah, I'm fine. What's the newspaper? Onet Police Chief finishes Earthbound, asks, where is the sequel? Good question. Talk to him, talk to him, talk to him. Let's talk to Frank next. He's at the Boyga shop. Hello, sir. How may I help you? Oh, aren't you Ness? After our battle, I became serious and have been working very hard. I've even been doing training for, well, a little bit of pro wrestling. It's the ring for me, baby. So you made it back alive. You must have many stories to tell. Let's get together for a drink when you have a chance. I'm talking about drinking mineral water. I'm still underage, you know. Quite a bit. I mean, they had playable portions of Earthbound 64. And Earthbound 64 was just restructured into Mother 3 on the GBA. Oh yeah, I should bring this up. I don't remember the name of it. It's actually in here, and I didn't write it down, of course. Etoy was a fan of Lorerun, and that's what Frank references directly there. Hey, give me a second, I'll tell you what the Lorerun is here. Akira Maeda's Rings, a reference to a Japanese professional wrestling foundation founded by Akira Maeda in 1991. Yeah, the Fighting Rings Network, which you may have heard of. In fact, I've been told I actually have the body type of Akira Maeda in real life. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've been told that. Anyways. Hi, nice to meet you. He's going to tell me about his adventure. I'm going to tell him about my mistakes. Well, let's return the Shyness book. Finally, you've come to return the book. Seems like you finished it. You're such a good boy. As a reward, I'll give you a kiss. Aww. Stupidest made-up word in a fantasy setting? Fal'Cie. Not because Fal'Cie itself is necessarily that bad, but also it's kind of weirdly used, and it sounds way too similar to l'Cie and seal, which causes some issues, so... Hi, Mom. Bye, Mom. I'm not homesick. Go to hell. We have 2 more things to do before we actually hit the ending. Sorry, guys. Goody, my brother's back. You've got a lot of catching up to with your schoolwork. Have any problem with your assignments, I'll help you. Don't get freaked out. Did Escargot Express help you? I've saved some money, so we'll do the lunch thing sometime. Also, you got a new girlfriend? Your adventures have been pretty good. You need help with anything? Yeah, I do actually want to withdraw the... this is not withdraw. I want to withdraw the bicycle... Whoop, and where is it? And the town map. Alright, what's Kuth from Breakwood? I don't recognize that one. So Pokey's dad has taken to drinking in Forside because he's destitute. Pokey's mother has got some man candy. In Japanese, his name basically means man candy. Here his name is, Pretty Face or something like that. Yeah, she'll say it. As usual, you're wearing your grubbies, so what do you want? My son isn't home right now. He's walking around somewhere. My husband's also gone. Oh yeah, this is Mr. Pretty Man. That's his name. He always gives great advice. He's a real gentleman. He's great in bed. In Japanese, it's far more clear that she is straight up cheating on her husband there. I haven't seen you in a while. You look cool. I'm nowhere near as cool as you. I'm just average cool. Ah, you're cool, Pinky. Pinky. Listen, it's extremely important that you know that she is sleeping around. Oh, gotcha, Bregman. That's a good question, Ventures. I don't know. Hey, Smoothie Life. Yeah, the only good apple. Alright, so... Right, Town Hall first, Town Hall. And by Town Hall, I mean Library, then Town Hall. Actually, Library, then Outpost, then Town Hall. Let's do it in that order. It's time to return the map now. Come back in the year 2001. I'm sure, Mr. Ed. She just lays there and does nothing. Waits for you to finish up. Like the antithesis of sexy. Just, ugh. Not that I've ever encountered that in real life. Yesterday I finally became a hideout member. Please come back and visit. Oh, cool. I've been thinking about our gang's name. It's We'll Laugh About It Tomorrow. Do you like it? My philosophy is peace to all men. I knew you'd understand. You seem to be gaining self-confidence or something. During your trip, were you popular everywhere you went? I'm jealous. I wish I was popular like you. Hey, Ness. It's starting to get crowded in the hideout. I was considering moving to Beaks Point. What do you think? You really agree? Let's build a strong, sturdy shack. Well, okay. like that, Bregwin. Sorry, I should have reacted. I apologize. That's a good pun, Bregwin. Bregwin says, "See through what happens when Lassie piss off their falsy and go crazy." Yep, let's see what you did there. Are you just on point today, Bregwin? What the hell? You know, I was thinking about increasing my vitamin intake, but I'm worried about getting placebos. I'm done. I'm done. Doesn't this house look good? You can buy it for only $7,500. That's pocket change here. I wish I could buy a house for $7,500. Although it would, if I bought a house for $7,500 in real life, it would probably look like this. This is a completely stupid story that we're just gonna go through this, and it's just a dumb joke that doesn't matter. It's not even a joke. It's not funny. Okay, we're done with the demon baby story. Yes, they reference New Jersey here and some other turnpike, in the original Japanese. But yeah, Jersey Devil story. Okay, so we've got 2 things left to do, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Just a little bit more patience, guys. We're almost there. Does Earthbound hold up? If I'm being completely honest, yes. It doesn't hold up as much as some of the other games of the era, but I mean, 20 story positives. Do I really need to add anything to that? The game does a lot right, gameplay-wise, and I think that's what I tend to remember the most. But it is worth acknowledging that the game does quite a few things wrong, gameplay-wise as well. This is definitely a game that I can only recommend to someone with an asterisk. But I would absolutely recommend to someone. I saw a picture in the international newspaper of someone who looks like you, but there's no way it was you. Maybe I'd like to study my city management techniques so you can become mayor someday. Oh my god, that's it. That's it. He's gonna become mayor. Yeah, no, I'd recommend playing this game, absolutely. Have a guide. Or save states. But, yeah, no, absolutely. One last thing here. Just for you, CO2. No, I am not. I didn't actually like the show that much. It only made me laugh once the entire time I was watching it. Can you hear it? Because it's the ringing, you know, the bicycle bell or whatever it's called. Would I recommend this as a first RPG? No. If you're not sure if you like RPGs, do not start with Earthbound. This is a game you play when you already like RPGs. Now, I usually recommend something a little bit more seminal when it comes to recommending a first RPG to see if you like it. And usually one that has more convenience features and quality of life features. It's the same reason I usually recommend people start with TNG Season 3. you've become such a strong young man. I'd like to hear all your stories, but I don't want to annoy you as soon as you walk through the door. After all your chats, please come back here. Photo Man brought an album. Let's do it. And time. So we have two endings here to rush through. We're going to go ahead and watch both of them. FF9 is a decent first RPG. It has some problems, but most of those problems are pretty easily ignored. Not my first pick, but, you know, I could see it. First we have the cast. Picky Minch, Lardna Minch, Aloysius Minch, and Pokey, who doesn't really fit here. Why don't you head out of here, Pokey? There's Buzz Buzz, Liar Exaggerate, Frank Fly, the Sharks. Honestly, no, Pokey. I mean, if you want to, go for it, but that's not one I would recommend for a first. It's like recommending the first Star Trek thing you ever see is Wrath of Khan. You don't start at the best. There's the child killers right there. Sorry. Paula's mom, Paula's dad. They don't even have names. Paula. Orange Kid. And the rat's at the wrong person. There we go. Apple Kid. Poor Everdread. Super dead. And as any good ending song, it's actually a medley of previous tunes that are relevant to whatever's happening on the screen as the ending plays. CFF6. Hey, Car Painter. And Pokey! What's up, Pokey? And he's... okay. Tessie! I don't know what SNES RPG I would recommend to start with. If you're already into RPGs, that's a different question. Bye, Brick Road. Dr. Andonuts and his exploding device. Hi, Jeff. We all Mr. Saturn. Ouch. Why is the machine sweating? The Dalai Lama. I mean the Talarama. Hey, Monopoly and Pokey! What's up, Pokey? How are you? Oh, he's gone. Okay. Venus. I'm not sure, Mr. Red. I'll have to think about that. Pooh's Master, and someone who's definitely not Buzz Buzz from the future. Depends again, Mandekler. But if you're already into RPGs and are seeing if you like the Dragon Quest series specifically, start with 4 on the DS. Flying Men, yay! I only got 1 killed. If you never played an RPG before and you want to start with Dragon Quest, start with 11. Or 8. Or 9. Which is modern, so that's PC and stuff like that. I love how the dad's a phone. So, I forget the exact format how this works, but there is a minimum number of these you can get, and a maximum number of these you can get. The ending sequence plays the same length, no matter what you get. But if you do maximum, then you get every single photograph here. Fuzzy Pickles. Nine is arguably slower than 7, Pugity, but that's mostly in combat. Either way, yes. But yeah, if slowness is your problem, 9 might not be the greatest direction there. There's Iwata, by the way. And there's Marcus Lindblom, who honestly deserves a round of applause by himself for the ridiculously good job he did in this game. Holy crap. There's Iwata again, by the way. Yeah, Lindblom did I cannot believe the job he did. Mostly by himself. Like, he had some support in the office, but he was the localizer for this game, and holy crap. And it was rushed, too. I cannot believe he rushed this. It's insanity. I'll never forget the story. The first time he ever watched someone streaming this game. And they were just gushing about the localization in that stream. This was years ago, obviously. And reportedly, he was moved to tears. Because remember, this game didn't sell all that well here in the States. So, you know, knowing that that people actually loved this work that he poured his passion and heart into, apparently was rather moving for him. There's Lindblom again, by the way. As I mentioned before, he actually has an entry in this book. I talked about that at the beginning of SO2K, but marketing is one of the bigger things. It's not the only reason, but it is the biggest reason. I agree, CO2 Dog. FF6 nailed all the right points for combat in the FF series, in my opinion. Yeah, this whole foreword, 2 pages of it, is by Lindblom. Yeah, FF7 has very snappy and quick combat. The idea that FF7's combat is slow is very strange to me. If you think FF7's combat is slow, then you shouldn't play any other FF. I'm not sure. I think FF10 too is probably the only one that's faster than that. This is Legends of Localization Book 2 by Clyde Mandel, and you can find it at Legends of Localization, the website. It is an awesome book that I highly recommend. But I'm biased because Clyde's awesome, and I mostly bought it just to support him. I mean, I've read through the whole book twice now, but... I mean... I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, Poogity, but I am not sure how you could think FF6 has faster combat than FF7. FF7 has exceptionally quick combat. Yeah, Clyde, I actually have the program he used for that, Goofy, and I need to someday do a stream of that just for fun. Because I have time to stream for... When I win the lottery, I'm going to do an FF6 translation stream, just for fun. There's Lindblom again. Aww. Poor Dungeon Man. Iwata again, by the way. Remember, he personally and his team were heavily involved in making this game ever come out. So, once again, huge hats off to Iwata for the fact that we even have this game. And this is dialogue recorded by the composer of the game.
I miss you.
Yeah, Nintendo, Ape, and Hal had to get together to make this sucker come out. And thanks to you guys very, very much, as ever and as always. Thank you for making this run happen. Now, we're not quite done yet we do have one last thing to do. At some point in time. It'll get there. Mike will give some bits. He won't tell me what he wants to put them towards because he hates me, but I will be very appreciative. Thank you, Mike. Oh, there it goes. The moment I alt-tab, of course. 2. Really? Hello, it's your dad. You've been out there for a long time now. It may be none of my business, but don't you think it'd be a good idea if you took a break? All right, you should find a place to stay at the nearest town. When you get to the hotel, be sure to give your dear old dad a call. Dad, I'm literally in the final cutscene of the entire game. Piss off. Someone's knocking at the door. What an annoying knock. My land, who could be knocking at the door this time of night? Won't you answer it? Got fleas second they dry, so I'm just gonna lie still for now. It's Picky! A letter arrives from my brother Pokey. It's addressed to Ness. There's no stamp and it's not time for the mailman to come. Anyway, I brought it over. It says, "Come and get me, loser. Spankety, spankety, spankety." Funny thing. In the original Japanese, this ends with "to be continued," as opposed to "the end." Now, the reason I bring this up, when they were writing, making, and designing Earthbound, that is to say Mother 2, they already had the plans and the ideas for Mother 3, which was originally going to be on the N64, as we've already discussed. And they already had most of the ideas for like the bare bones of Mother 3 already designed. So they were planning for a sequel with this game. That's probably why Mother 2 and Mother 3 connect more than Mother 1 and Mother 2. That being stated, they ran into so many issues with that in between that, Mother 2's development and Mother 2's localization, that they changed this. Because in Mother 2, this just straight up says "to be continued," which it eventually was. Here, they changed it to "the end" to make it a little more ambiguous, and so people wouldn't expect a sequel. Unfortunately, if you're paying attention, there are 3 separate hints in this game, straight up hints that there's going to be a sequel. So players who are fans of this game in the States for years were wondering when Earthbound 2 was coming out. Mother 3 is a GBA game, to give you an idea of how big of a gap in time that was. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Earthbound. Let me look at the positives and the negatives, do my final little audit really quick here. So, localization, text stylization, guest character usage, tone, humorous quirkiness, flavor lore, creepy atmosphere, which is great, the Jeff section, narrative connecting threads, which, God, there's so many, I couldn't possibly list them all. Music is well directed and well utilized. Doodad utilization, Moonside by itself, Pooh's thing is awesome. The main plot is awesome. Pokey. Tons of gameplay and story integration. Magicant, its significance, presentation, and tidbits. The outro, Gygus' defeat, the playable ending. And no story negatives. Now, I was talking to Pax about this just last night or the night before, I forget which. I think it was Saturday, actually. No, it was yesterday. And the localization, the lack of story negatives doesn't mean this is a perfect story. It just means, honestly, while there is a lot of great stuff in this story, and there is, I don't want to shy away from that, it avoids most of the problems with regards to storytelling because there's a lot of story that's simply absent. Huge swaths of this story, mostly the background stuff, the alien stuff, the character stuff, is simply not there. It's strangely bare bones for a story that's as well told as it is, because it focuses almost entirely on one thing: plot. For those of you who remember, plot, characterization, character development, setting and world building, themes, and fun. These are the 6 points of story, right? While this has no real characterization and only a little bit of character development and no real setting building, and all that's left is these 3 things. Fun, which is obvious, theme, which is all over the place, and plot. This is one of the very, very rare RPGs I've played that actually focuses on the plot as its primary focus of story. Most RPGs focus on character or world building or character development. So it's all big on the plot, and a lot of those pluses were for plot and the way the plot was presented. Gameplay-wise, localization and usage of text, the interface convenience features, the tutorialization of the intro, rotating HP system, your sanctuary effect, the flexible route of the flexible route of how you can get through the game. The Happy Village section in its entirety is actually surprisingly well designed. The playable ending, Magicant, partially positive. Gygas, partially positive. Gameplay and story integration, Monkey Cave, good and consistent visual distinction, and variety, which we mentioned earlier. Negatives, unskippable cutscenes, which is pretty bad. The inventory is way too limited and clunky in general. The combat and background image and weirdness is just not for me. The menu system kind of sucks. The encounter rate kind of sucks. The RNG sucks. Magicant, yes, I put it in positive and negative because Magicant also does things wrong. It comes out of absolutely nowhere with no warning and can screw you over if unprepared, and is designed to be basically incapable of avoiding enemies between the narrow corridors and the first and the slow warder in the second area. The final dungeon has certain issues and can obviously cause you to lose literally hours of time. See Final Fantasy III for a good example of that concept. Homesickness, RNG. Homesickness, RNG. And the music restarts every time you leave, you get out of it, which always bothers me. The Paula is kidnapped section has several significant issues, the most major of which being the fact that Paula is always behind from that point on. Oh, and by the way, is actually mandatory for beating the game. I think that's it. I think those are all the positives and negatives I can come up with. Great game. I'm not sure if it deserves the sushi flag. I'd really have to think about that. It's kind of borderline. Because, yeah, the problem is, and Takoida is quite right, the problem is there are quite a few hassles in the way of enjoying this game. I've said this before, I had to kind of mentally push myself into a certain place to deal with things like the menu and the combat, and you can basically get screwed over for no failure, right? Like, you do nothing wrong and you still get screwed over because of the way the system's designed. Under which SA2K? I'm not sure that's a full positive. Oh, I already gave that positive. I gave that positive under gameplay SA2K. It's one of the it's the aggregate that's baked together with the Gygas fight, so I've already given that one. I actually gave it for most of... So Magicant does several things. It makes sure you have access to everything. It gives you lots of good equipment, tons of good experience, the stat ups, and the rolling HP thing. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm not going to give Earthbound the sushi tag. I feel weird doing that, but this is the kind of game that could really use a proper remake to polish over several issues of both combat, encounter design, maybe improve the level, the level design, and most importantly of all, fix the frickin' menus and the inventory design, and that would push this into sushi territory. I can't believe I had no idea this would not be a sushi game. I'm actually a little blown away by that. I love this game, if it's not obvious. But no, I don't think it deserves the sushi tag. Either way, this has been the Earthbound Lorerun, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again very, 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 very much for your time, attention. I do hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I had trouble sleeping last night. I referenced that earlier. And I do want to lay down for a little bit, to be completely honest. We will be streaming for the second half of today. That will be in, looks like about 2.5 hours. We'll be starting the second stream of the day. And that will be Homeworld Cataclysm is the game we'll be streaming then. So I do hope to see some of you guys there. See you next time.